welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast. I am Eric. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. It is Monday, so not a lot has happened, I think, for people. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody's staying warm. I know it's cold in some places right now. Let me take this little QR code down. I wish I could just do it for the intro and then it would just go away. Anyway, good to see everyone. Darren is coming in to say, won't make it on tonight. Hope everyone has a great stream. Good to see you, Darren. I hope everything's okay. I know you streamed earlier, so I hope you're feeling all right. We do have a guest in the green room, though. Bring him up here. Not usually here for the beginning of the streams at home. Usually you're out and about, but we have Ronan here. Good to see you, Ronan.
What's up, Eric?
How are you doing? How are things going?
I'm good. Right now, it's funny, both yearly, the seasons are turning to the busiest stuff for if you work in major companies and whatnot right now. The work is happening, and then also TV is going to be ramping up pretty soon with Stranger Things, with Fallout, with more anime stuff coming about. So just trying to micromanage time and just a time where I can just sit down where I'm not either facing a camera or having a microphone. But other than that, I'm good, man.
The stream shall not be chained. There you go.
Nice.
Oh, Darren was streaming solo today. Oh, I didn't know that. What's up, Staggervore? How are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I understand how the voice can go. Like, the tough thing for me is, as a DJ, when I work on the weekends, I'm on the mic, like, a lot. So, by time Sunday night rolls around and I've been talking on the mic for, like, 2 nights, like 5 hours of the time, on the microphone, which is, it's a lot easier here because I'm not screaming. You're at a club, you're like, what is up? Everybody put your hands in, like stuff like that. You're doing that all night. You lose your voice, which is why I don't like to do things on the weekends typically, because I'm already on the mic a lot. So that's why it's like when I do the weekends, I'm like, do I really want to? Because I did weekends forever with Paigey. We were doing the after party. I was doing that for about almost 3 years while I was working the weekends. Before that, the after party was during the week, so it didn't matter. It's like right now, we'd be getting on right after, Arrow goes off or Flash goes off. You jump on and stream and do that kind of stuff. But it's rough. It's tough for me now to do that. All right, before we get into, we got a bunch of good topics. We're going to talk, I think we got 2 different Star Wars topics tonight to talk about. We're going to talk about a recent interview with Lesley Headland from the Acolyte and some Rian Johnson updates on that.
On his trilogy and whatnot?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Let me see what else I have here in my notes. Hold on. I'll read them all off to you, everybody. We got some Brendan Fraser stuff with Batgirl, which I think would be interesting to talk about. Couple of shows getting renewed, a couple of dead projects. Apparently, we're going to get a Far Cry series. We're going to look at that and see what that looks like. And the numbers for Wicked for Good, which I have not had a chance to see yet. Have you seen it yet?
No. I have respect for musicals and for anybody who loves the Wizard of Oz IP, but it's not my cup of tea. Eventually, we'll get to those movies.
Yeah. We were going to see it, but it sold out. Like, we
tried
to get tickets. Yeah, like, I've got a little theater, like, right down the street from my house. Nice little theater. We've talked about this. Drinks, food, all that stuff. Go there, get drunk, watch a movie, have a good time. Anyway, we tried to get tickets. I guess we waited too late. What's up, Ethan? I love Wicked.
Nice.
Yeah, the first one was good. Apparently, this one, though, is doing much better. We're going to look at the numbers for that.
Okay.
See where we're at on that.
Also,
pretty
full
crazy
transparency.
Stuff. Yeah.
I might have to leave up early because, again, we're managing stuff. So, like, there's a big project that I'm right now handling, trying to handle it right now, and so it'll be within minutes or half an hour. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here, but
that's cool. Yeah, whenever you got to go, just let me know. You can jump off, whatever. But let's go ahead. I also have a video here from John Campea where he talks about Avengers. I thought we'd start out with that. Let's see what he has to say here. So let's do this. Oh, wait. Actually, we are going to watch this, but I do want to remind everybody we're still doing the contest. Remember, all you have to do is chat to get onto the leaderboard. Once you actually get into the top 3 on the leaderboard, you're entered into the contest automatically. So all you have to do is participate in the chat. If you're playing a video game and you're listening to me separately, drop some emojis or something in the chat so you can get on the board. I don't know, whatever. I know that Columbia Rican always, it's like, I'm playing Elden Ring or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, make sure you do that. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. The super chat goals are up. It's only 5, but make sure you look at the color when you go to do it so you'll know it's the right one. And when we hit that, we'll do the stuff on the poll. So there we go. Hit the goal, get the poll. I don't know. It's got a good ring to it.
Go for it. Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this John Campea video. It's a short one, but I thought it was interesting. I saw it today, and I'm like, we should talk about this tonight. This is I guess he does these overreaction things where he takes questions from viewers.
I believe so, yeah. I haven't seen it in a while,
Trevor,
but yeah.
Who writes, if Doomsday performs well, Secret Wars will be an automatic $3 billion box office hit.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there for a second.
All right.
I don't know if it's printing money like that.
I don't know. Like, I'm optimistic, but Marvel's been up and down. You know what I mean? And it's not about quality. It's really just about the fucking state of the Hollywood industry right now. Like, it's up and down. I don't know if it's a guaranteed automatic $3 billion box office hit. Like, I don't know about that. Well, that's the thing. Right. People say, you say it's not quality. For some people, it is. Sadly, like we are in that. Again, have I loved everything they've done post Endgame? No, but is it enough for me to burn the farm to the ground? No, it's not for me. Except for some people, for some reason, it is.
Well, I would say like this year for me, and this is just my personal opinion. There was only one movie out of the 3 Marvel movies that came out that I thought it felt like it stumbled, and that was Captain America: Brave New World.
Same.
Clearly, there's some shit happening behind the scenes that affected that fucking movie, right?
Yeah.
But I think Fantastic Four was a really good movie, and I love Thunderbolts.
Yes.
I love that movie. That was my favorite Marvel movie this year.
I agree.
And it was a bunch of characters that people said no one gives a fuck about. But it just goes to show that it doesn't matter. It's about like the fucking script. It's about what you do with those characters, right? That's how I feel about it.
I said as soon as I walked out of the Marvel panel of Comic-Con from the last year is when they showed the first trailer of Thunderbolt. I was like, all these characters I love from their own individual projects. The only way, I remember being like, this is an ace up their sleeve if they play their cards right. Where like, if it's about something, instead of just throwing these characters together, then they'll have me. And within like the first third of the movie, I was like, ooh, I think they have something. And then stuff was just getting peeled off. And then by the time we get to third act, which people always think it's a clusterfuck,
right?
Third act is the most simple, most personal, and very, very Marvel-esque idea out of the 3 Marvel Studios films. It was all about, make sure everything's okay with your head, and then it's these characters. It ends the biggest climactic thing of that. It ends with a hug. It ends with a group hug, and like that tells you something that I'm like, ooh, probably they weren't paying too much attention with this one, and I'm kind of glad that was the case. Or if they were, then they let what's his name, Jake Schreier, whatever his name was, the director. Just do his thing, which I agree with.
Well, let's see what Mr. Campea has to say about this, because I'm curious what his take on it is. Like, I know some people aren't into his stuff or whatever. That's fine. I just want to hear what his thoughts are. It's a short video.
If Doomsday performs well, and I think he means quality-wise, the audience likes it, the critics like it, it makes big box office money. So if Doomsday is a big hit, then Secret Wars becomes an automatic $3 billion film. I'm going to call that an overreaction.
I mean, legitimately, I agree. Yeah, I think it is. I think it totally is. I honestly thought, okay, roll it back a little bit here. I thought Fantastic Four was going to perform better, much, much better than it actually did, right? I thought that Fantastic Four was going to be a $700, $800 million film. I didn't think it was going to reach $1 billion. I always say that with these kinds of movies, the potential for $1 billion is almost always there, because we're talking about superhero movies. We're talking about fan-driven films. Like, there's always a potential to hit $1 billion. I try to undershoot, right? I'm purposely trying to not hit that target. I want to come in a little bit under. So I always go under what I think it would actually do. So I'm like, 700 seems like a modest number for me. It seems like a good number for me, right? In terms of Fantastic Four. There's so many other issues. He looks so upset based on that. Well, I don't know about that. There's so many other issues plaguing the industry that I don't really know exactly what the one thing was. You know what I mean? That caused the issue with it. But to get to $3 billion in this movie industry,
Yeah.
I mean,
And we've all talked about how like the lead up to this Avengers movie is not like the lead up of Avengers films prior, where like there is a goal, and like if you've been on this ride, this is the big splash you're gonna get. And again, you say all these elements are being added, like people are not even thinking like, okay, the first 2 Avatar movies made $1 billion. Don't vote against Cameron. But what about this third one that is right after the second one, which wasn't over a decade long wait? It's like this is the first Avengers movie since 2019. How's that gonna look? Because again, that's pre-COVID. This is post-COVID. Like it's fast. I would, you know what would have been cool, Eric, if Doomsday does big money,
yeah,
and then we get Secret Wars, and it passes the records that's set by any of the previous Avengers, and then people start going, what about 3 billion? And then we slowly each week start seeing the numbers go up and up and up. It's like, holy shit, are they actually going to do it or not? That would have been the sweet spot. But I don't know.
We got Jake in the house. I still don't understand the next door joke, so I'm just going to go along with it.
It would take too long.
Yeah.
I want to say something about this, though, and I brought this up on my stream last night.
Wait, do you know what we're talking about here?
The Doomsday money?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say something about this, and I went into a whole deal about this on my stream last night. Even if this movie, do I think this movie is going to make $1 billion? Yes, I think that's pretty.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment.
I think that's pretty safe to guess. The thing is, even if it does make $1 billion, it could still lose money. Like that chance is there because
if it's anything, the Avengers Endgame and Infinity War had a combined budget, right? You know that.
Yes, because they were written and shot together.
Yes.
These two films are not
exactly. Yeah,
and you're looking at $500 to $600 million just to make this movie. Not even talking about marketing. So,
well, there's an interesting thing that I found out about Wicked for Good that is literally going to blow some people's minds based on what I read today. That honestly, I was shocked when I read it. So we're gonna hang a hat on that one because I want to come back to that. You're right; it does have to make tons of money, but there are other
it has to
factors.
Make 1.5. It has to make 1.5 to be profitable
on the box office alone.
Yeah,
but we know that's not how movies make money. In a vacuum, yes, that's true, but that's not how movies make money in 2025. It's not the only way movies make money in 2025.
No, so, it's just that. It's an important factor to look at.
No, it absolutely is. You're right. You're 100% right. So let's see what he has to say here.
Now, John, you've said before, if Doomsday is really good, it means Secret Wars is going to be huge. I absolutely, I do. However, everybody's going to want to make comparisons to like Infinity War and Endgame. Understandably so. Totally get it. But you got to keep this in mind about Infinity War and Endgame. Infinity War and Endgame were the climax of 15 years of victory lap for the MCU.
I want to pause there for a second also. I also want to, they didn't really have any flops before that.
No, not box office flops. No, like there was, like even the ones now that are not as well regarded, they still made money.
Yeah.
But
it was just consistency was good, and word of mouth was consistently good, even people on characters. People were like, okay, maybe Ant-Man's not my favorite thing, but like it was something to watch. And then again, a character like Doctor Strange, which I like his first film, people love Doctor Strange coming out of Infinity War. They love that guy and whatnot. So that's I think that's what's.
Maybe it's a hot take, and I've said this a couple times. If they stick the landing, he could potentially have the best trilogy in the MCU. If they stick the landing.
Doctor Strange? Yeah, I agree.
I don't know about that.
Because I think 1 and 2 were phenomenal films, and if they really stick the landing with 3, it could be the best trilory.
Yeah. Fellas, I just got the call, so I have to head out. And
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
All right. See you later, Ronan.
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
Take care, y'all.
Yeah. So, So my thought is, like, if you look at these two movies, you look at Doomsday and you look at Secret Wars, like, these are kind of the beginning of the next phase of Marvel.
Yeah, they're going to usher in the next phase.
Because Doomsday is kind of putting a bookend on all like phases 4 or 5, going into this next phase here. And then Secret Wars is going to kick off the next phase, basically, that this X-Men, Fantastic Four, New Avengers era of the MCU, right? So there is comparison to be made in the sense that in scope and scale, because that's what this is. But it's not in the same position that those movies were in, which I think is really important for people to remember.
Right.
Yeah. They had Thor: The Dark World, and they had Iron Man 2. Sure, they had a couple of whiffs, but for the most part, the MCU up until Endgame was one home run crushing win after another for like 15 years or more, and then culminating this massive victory lap with Endgame. Overall hype and perception of the MCU couldn't have been bigger or higher. Everybody loved it, blah, 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 blah. And then they crescendoed with Endgame.
Before we get to the rest of this video, though, I want to say this.
The immediate follow-up from Endgame still made $1 billion.
No, it did. But I will, maybe this is a weird hill to die on, but maybe not. I feel like if you're somebody that watched the MCU, right, you were watching that whole universe all the way up to Infinity War and Endgame. If you just wanted to like stop watching at that point, you got a full story for all those characters, right?
Like you got an end.
That's kind of I think that's one of the mistakes they made, honestly, right? Because it's literally called Endgame. And I know that was the meme, that was the joke, but it was literally called Endgame. So you could walk away from that and be like, I've seen everything. This character died, that character moved on. I don't give a fuck about anything else after that. I believe, and I don't have any proof of this. This is all feelings over facts, I guess. But I believe that there is a contingency of viewers that just decided after Endgame they were going to be very choosy about which movies they went and saw.
Well, it also didn't help that they really didn't give the MCU any time to breathe after that. I mean, we had COVID in the middle, but as soon as they could, they started cranking out stuff again. Just to keep putting content out there, because especially as we got into the Chapek era, it was just content,
which was like we need 1 million things out every month, basically,
right? And it's like Feige he was so stretched so thin that a lot of projects that really needed oversight didn't get any, and that's when a lot of your movies that got the rotten score started coming in, like Eternals, like Love and Thunder, Quantumania. Like they really started coming in, and Quantumania especially was a big net loss for them, because that was going to be the thing that ushered in the new saga. Then they're like, well, okay, we have
well that was a fucking look, I stand by the fact that I think that so there's a couple Marvel movies that I do believe they made some mistakes on. The two that I stand by as being mistakes, and I'm pretty sure if Joe were here, he would disagree with me on this one, but Quantumania and Ant-Man being the same movie was a mistake. I think Thor: Love and Thunder should have been 2, maybe 3 different films. That's what I think, right? I think they should have broken it up into 3 different films. And let me explain myself very quickly. Quantumania, if they wanted to make a movie called Quantumania, it should have been just a movie called Quantumania. Attaching Ant-Man to that and making it an Ant-Man
and having
film.
the Wasp in the title of that movie and having her do fuck all.
It was dumb. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 should have been a nice little heist to end off that trilogy, and people would have loved it. I think Quantumania as a separate movie focused around Kang, they could have called it Kang the Conqueror Quantumania or something like that, focused around that character, would have been much, much better. I still believe that. The Thor: Love and Thunder thing is there were 3 movies in that one movie, right? So we got as Guardians of the Galaxy, which I really enjoyed that beginning montage where we got to see those characters together. I would have gone to see a whole movie of that, in my opinion. Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it would have been good. Look, I know you don't like this version of Thor. He's not your favorite. I get it. But I actually think that would have been more fun.
Not shit talking you, though.
No. I actually think that would have been more fun than the Thor we got in Thor: Love and Thunder, because the Thor and Thor: Love and Thunder as a character was a little bit ridiculous, and even Chris Hemsworth agrees with that. Yeah. So that's not just me saying that. It's not me giving a hot take. People can still like the movie. I don't care. I'm not trying to twist anybody's arm. But I think an As Guardians of the Galaxy movie would have been fun, and then you could have still given James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Just do a separate little one-off adventure with as Guardians of the Galaxy, and then allow Thor to leave and come back to the franchise. The second movie that was in that film was a Jane Foster Thor movie. Let her be Thor for her own movie, and allow Valkyrie to train her. Like, that would have been, that's a buddy comedy. Like, you could have done that, kept the serious storyline up, dealt with the cancer issue, and made it one movie, gave her some mid-range villains of her own to deal with in that movie. And then at the end of that movie, you bring Thor back in, they see each other, and then the next film is the God Butcher story. A whole movie just around that, so you don't get the other stuff stuffed in there, and you could have done a really dark Thor movie, like a super dark Thor movie with the God Butcher. And you could have included those scenes that got cut out for time, apparently, in that movie as well, where you get to see some of those comic book panels come to life, which I would have loved to see. I think that to me, that would have fixed some of the problems we had. But we had, and look, the thing is, Thor Love and Thunder made good money, so, I'm probably in the minority in that. But I think we potentially had 3 films there that could have worked. And I think with Quantumania, we had 2 movies there that could have worked. And I know we're in the minority on this, but I think Multiverse of Madness was a great movie. Fuck what people say. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a great movie. Anyway, let's get back to what...
Honestly, I think that movie makes No Way Home better. Because going off of No Way Home, my biggest issue with it was, why would a grown man just go along with the whims of a high schooler like this?
Yeah.
That immediate follow-up...
He just got done dealing with America. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that movie sets on the table. Oh, yeah. This guy's dangerously arrogant. He's out of control. He makes bad calls. Yeah. So that movie answers that question.
All right, let's see what else he's got to say here. I'm sorry we keep pausing you, John.
The problem is, while there have been some really good MCU things since Endgame, I'm looking at things like, obviously, WandaVision, Shang-Chi, Thunderbolts. They've done a couple of things that have been really, really good. I think it is fair to say, and you've heard me say this a lot, that this has been the weakest era of the MCU. There's still been some really, really good things, and you can believe that it's still really good, or you can believe it's terrible, but I think we all agree, however good you think it is right now, or however bad you think it is right now, I think we all agree that the MCU is not firing on all cylinders at the moment like it did prior to Endgame.
We talked about this, right? The issue is, since the first 3 phases, in chat, I've done the math, we've talked about this before, they introduced like 40 some characters that have only appeared one time.
Because when they did that in Infinity Saga, they placed those characters in projects and knowing where they were going to appear next.
We got 40 fucking characters running around. We've had 1 season with them on a show, or we got 1 movie with them and no fucking follow-ups. They didn't follow up on the Eternals. That's an entire team of characters that never got a follow-up. Like,
they didn't even get acknowledged again until Brave New
But that's
World.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Like, look, I love What If, but What If doesn't count because those aren't the same versions, right? So you take What If out of the equation, right? You subtract that completely. So we're dealing with all of the main, like, the 616 MCU characters, right?
We haven't seen Shang-Chi since his own movie.
That's what I'm saying, but we've seen Wong. How many times now?
Like 5?
We've seen him more than we've seen Doctor Strange.
At this point, yeah.
So my point is that there's a bunch of characters that they did not fully bake, and that's a problem. That's an issue. So I don't even think look, we could argue quality. That's fine if people want to argue quality. I don't even think it's an issue of quality, really. I think it's an issue with follow-up. It's an issue with, like, bringing these characters back in a timely manner. That's the issue. Look, it's great. We're all comic book people. We love all these characters when they come out and they give them to us. But there has to be some sort of, like, reason why you have Shang-Chi come out and then 6 years later there's no Shang-Chi 2. Like, what the fuck?
It doesn't help that in a majority of the movies until, like, Thunderbolts and kind of Brave New World and Fantastic Four, it doesn't help that until that point we have gotten how many post-credit scenes for these films that went absolutely fucking nowhere.
Yes, and the fact that, like, so the other issue with like let's take a look at the 3 movies that came out this year, just for the hell of it. So Captain America: Brave New World came out. We only got to see the new Captain America in 1 project and then this movie.
And he wasn't even really the main character in this movie. He was like the POV character.
But the thing is, there was no lead up. Like the last time we saw him, like in a big way, if we're talking about movies, was fucking Endgame.
Yeah. And now in this next movie, he's supposedly going to be leading an Avengers team.
That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, they're doing that on the back of the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, which I like that show. I think it's a good show. It's one of my favorite shows. It feels like old school MCU, but that's not enough. That should have been the movie.
Yeah, that should have been the Passing of the Shield movie in Phase 4.
That's what I'm saying.
Because Brave New World retreads a lot of that ground of him not feeling worthy of the shield. It's like, okay, you didn't need to do this again because you spent 6 episodes going over this, and it worked then, but you didn't need to spend like a quarter of your movie doing it.
And then we have Thunderbolts, which I love all of those characters. I think they're all very interesting characters. Right. Like, I love all those characters. My issue with Thunderbolts is the marketing was bad. Like, you marketed as Thunderbolts, then you add the Avengers branding on right after the week. Like, I think it was like the Monday or Tuesday after the movie was out.
Yeah.
They start calling it New Avengers. I'm like, so you spoiled the end of the movie in your follow-up marketing. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea? I thought all of the marketing leading up to Thunderbolts was brilliant, and then they fucking ruined it the week after. What are we doing? So my criticism with Marvel has to do more with the execution of what they've been doing since Endgame. And I don't know who's 100% to blame for that. I don't think it's all Kevin Feige. I think there's a lot of other moving parts behind the scenes that have something to do with that. But it's crazy.
Like,
it's fucking crazy.
I mean, like, yeah, you can look at Feige, you can look at the Parliament up here. They are definitely to blame for a lot of what's gone wrong. That's a whole other discussion we can get into. And because every time you see a behind the scenes interview with one of those actors, whether it's David Harbour or Elizabeth Olsen, and they always refer to the ambiguous they, as in they wanted things changed or they wanted this done. They is always referring to that Parliament, that head of execs up here. Yeah. And, you know, like, yes, it's good to have people with a business sense, but there needs to be like a common ground. You know, like somebody, I don't even know if I want to use this example because maybe it's not the best, but kind of like a Gunn and Safran situation, ideally, where you have, you know, like a creative head and a business head, to where they can just blend instead of it just being, okay, content. We don't care how this is placed. But then you obviously want somebody to business. You want someone to balance out the creative side with business because, you know, you have the creative saying, oh, we want to do like all these things. This would be really cool. And then business person comes in and goes, all right, how can this be profitable? You know, is this something worth doing? Can we make money off this? Can we make a lasting impact with X characters and X stories and drive them forward? Because they took a chance on a lot of things in phases 1, 2, and 3. And, you know, people have been saying for the longest time, hey, like we want something, you know, fresh and innovative. They've been getting fresh and innovative throughout these past 2 phases, and they haven't been welcoming of it.
I want to highlight a comment here from Jason. We have some super chats. We'll look at them here in a second. Jason goes, Feige did tell us months in advance that the title was going to change for Thunderbolts. Yes, but let me explain why this is a problem. You either change it before the movie comes out, or you wait a while the movie's in theaters before you change it. Because what is the single biggest spoiler in Thunderbolts? The fact that they become the Avengers.
Yeah, right at the end.
That's the single biggest spoiler. You can talk about that entire movie with the exception of the Taskmaster death, which got leaked early or whatever.
I mean, people pretty much knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, you can talk about almost anything in that movie and not spoil it, except for the fact they become the Avengers. So I'm sitting here tiptoeing around the shit after I saw the movie, and less than 3 days later, they're saying it's the New Avengers. They should have just called it the fucking New Avengers from the beginning.
Can you pull up Project X's comment?
Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, wait.
No, not that one. So the whole celestial being that got mentioned in Brave New World, that directly ties back to the Eternals. That's the first time anything related to them was acknowledged after their film. So,
yeah, but I think he's this person. I didn't mean to assume you're a guy, but I think this person might mean the individual Eternals, though the characters.
No, not the characters themselves, but just anything related to them.
Yeah. All right. Let's see wrap this.
But also that kind of created a little bit of a plot hole, though, because whenever they were talking about, like, hey, you know, this treaty needs to work because of adamantium, blah, blah, blah. But if you rewind back to She-Hulk, where they have a throwaway thing in the paper where somebody talks about, you know, a guy getting slashed with metal claws and whatnot, how would there have been a Wolverine before that if there was only adamantium now? So
Right. Yeah.
that just creates a whole big plot hole that I don't even know if they even really look back on, but it probably won't even matter in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that, right? Maybe you only think it's 5% less, maybe you think it's 80% less, but I think we all agree it's not quite firing on all cylinders like it was before. So, unlike Infinity War leading into Endgame, which was the crescendo of just years and years and years of victory, 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 success, 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 and then boom, Endgame comes out, becomes one of the biggest films of all time. That is not
Why did
the
you edit that out of
scenario
your
we're in
video?
right now.
That was funny.
Okay.
We're in a different scenario now. Doomsday and Secret Wars, by extension, are not coming out on the tail end of 15 years of straight victory.
I will say, regardless of that, I think there's a lot of excitement for the two movies.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, you know, like whatever word you want to use, you know, like there's excitement, there's anticipation, maybe anxiety from some people, but regardless of the feelings, it's still going to put butts in seats.
yeah, for sure.
It's coming out at a very good time for them because they really do need to correct the ship. And hey, lately they've been doing some of that correction, right? I think Thunderbolts was my favorite comic book movie of the year.
I agree.
I thought Fantastic Four was quite good.
Mhm.
They're doing some good things in a row now, which is why we're going to have Spider-Man, Brand New Day come
I
out
think that's
before
going to do really well
Doomsday.
too.
They're going to have a chance to build some momentum going into it, but it's not the same as the environment and context that Infinity War leading into Endgame was. We're, as MCU fans, we were just riding high for well over a decade and then hit the big party with Endgame. That ain't it here. So, do I believe Doomsday can be massive? I do. And if it is great, and these are big ifs, but if it's great and if it's successful and all that kind of stuff, that means Secret Wars can be even bigger. Absolutely. But to say it's a lock to be even more successful than Endgame, when Endgame was the culmination of a massive era of success, whereas Secret Wars is going to be the ending of an era that has been marred by ups and downs. To just say it's a lock to make more than Endgame, given those circumstances, impossible? No.
So
we're going to stop it there because I think we're reached a point. But
here's a big
Go
thing
ahead.
that people got to consider too. So, for Infinity War and Endgame, they had been teasing Thanos as a big threat ever since the end of Phase 1.
mm-hmm.
One of the biggest problems, and granted they had to do this, they had to pivot because of all the stuff with Majors, but there was nothing, absolutely nothing, until Fantastic Four First Steps to suggest that anything related to Doctor Doom was even on its way, because a lot of that was done externally.
Yeah.
They did the whole Comic-Con reveal with RDJ taking off that play mask. They did the whole thing in the post-credit scene of First Steps where you see Doom's mask. All of the stuff that's leading towards Doom has been done externally through marketing that a lot of the diehards like us will see, but a lot of your casual audience will really not have an idea.
Well,
they haven't done things in universe
Yeah.
until this latest movie to suggest that anything Doom related is coming. Now, granted, Doomsday is probably going to be what Infinity War was to Thanos and really focus on him,
Mhm.
but there's the danger of it being a little forced and kind of thrown together last minute.
Yeah. I also want to point out that this is why when we see these guys here on YouTube react to really weird interviews or red carpet stuff and whatnot with actors, that's part of that marketing machine to hit all audience demographics, because you might see them on The View, you might see them on a late night show, you might see them on a red carpet, you might see them, on another talk show, you might see them on a podcast or something. They're doing this because they're trying to hit all the markets they can. And with the cast of Doomsday being so big, we're going to see a massive outreach before the movie comes out. We're going to see lots of actors in different places promoting the movie. So we'll see how much that pays off. Huh?
And we don't even know the entire cast.
No. All right, we got some super chats here. Naruto with the $2 super chat and a channel member. Thank you, Naruto, for the support. Wicked for Good should have been called Witch, LOL. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I know how the story goes. So
I haven't seen it either. I don't
Yeah.
particularly plan to.
yeah, it's not really everybody's cup of tea. It's a musical, so I get it. Staggervore with the 199 chat and a 199 super chat and a channel member. Not to mention we didn't get a Blade movie. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm still very confused about. I've thought
And if
about
they
this
move
before.
that into the next saga, if the next saga is mutant focused, how is Blade going to fit into that?
I think the Blade would probably be one of these like add-on films. You know what I mean? On the years when they want to make a lower budget movie and just kind of shift into like a.
Because that's what the '98 movie was. It was a low budget movie, but it was also a really good movie with a character a lot of people didn't know, and it was a hit.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, the Blade thing is kind of crazy, honestly.
Yeah, it was announced back in 2019, same day as Fantastic Four.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
All right, so let's do this here. We got where's it at here? Which one am I looking for?
Did you talk about the Fraser thing yet?
Not yet. No. I hadn't really gotten into
Gotcha.
that. Let's see. We'll go here. Hold on. Let me pull up the bookmarks for this. I thought this was quite interesting. Speaking of Wicked, let's talk about some Wicked numbers. I've got some really interesting information here.
You're stretching for segues here.
I try. Let's see. All right. So despite lower weekend actuals, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo still beat Lilo and Stitch at the box office as Wicked for Good scores 147 million on the number 2 biggest 3-day opening weekend of 2025. Beat Super Mario Brothers movie won for 146.2 million. It's 4th biggest 3-day weekend ever in the Universal's history. Number 8 biggest opening weekend post-COVID. Number 34 biggest 3-day weekend ever, beating Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. A 30.7% glow up from Wicked's 112.5 million debut a year ago. So it beat Wicked on its debut. And then we got some stats here for opening weekends, which I thought was quite interesting. It had made 6.1 on Amazon previews, 6.5 million on Wednesday previews, 18.2 on Thursday, 38.3 on Friday, 43.4 on Saturday, and 34.5 on Sunday. So that's a strong hold. But it wasn't as strong as the original film on that particular day.
Like an A cinema score is not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, 100%. Also, where's this at here? There's another bit of news about it.
Keep in mind, most like blockbuster films these days get about a B average on cinema scores. So an A is good.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and leave this up on the screen while I talk about this. So I want to talk about something really interesting when it comes to Wicked that I found as I was reading through some articles. And where's my window at? There we go.
I definitely don't have Future Fight playing on autopilot beside me as we're talking.
All right. So Deadline did an article on this. This is kind of crazy, you guys. There was promotional partnerships for Wicked. And this seems to be the way a lot of movies are going now to try and offset some of the cost. How much do you think these partnerships were worth in total? This is talking about like merchandising and brand deals with people, stuff like that. How much money do you think they're getting in promotional partnerships for the Wicked for a Good movie? Chat, take a guess. Everybody take a guess. If you don't know the number, take a guess. I'll know if you know it because I'll see it. It's an exact number. But this was quoted from Deadline. So how much do you think they made in promotional partnerships before the movie ever even got released in theaters? Just give me a ballpark number.
Are you asking like me or?
Yeah, I'm curious. Promotion. So this includes merchandising and tie-ins, anything they did prior to the movie getting released. Because keep in mind, remember, Fantastic Four did like I think it was 170 million. How much do you think that Wicked did?
What, like maybe 350?
Close. 330 million in promotional partnerships.
I was close.
Right. Think about this. 330 million, that basically paid for the whole movie.
Yeah. And that's just a marketing budget.
And this comes from Deadline, so this isn't some random, like, tabloid doing this. We're talking about dolls, fashion collabs, collectibles,
Halloween
all those things tied
costumes.
into it. Yeah. So the thing is that this number tells us that Wicked as a two-parter, the amount of money they made on this merchandising, the deals they have or whatever, this is being treated like a tentpole franchise now by Universal because they're seeing numbers here. All of the things you can do with a movie like this. So it's culturally, this is a lot of money for them because there's a big following behind Wicked. Now, the question is, what do you do with this? Because there's only so much official Wicked stuff out there before you have to start creating new stories for characters and things like that. 330 million means it doesn't even matter how much it makes at the box office, to be honest. Thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, let's see if they end up getting their money's worth. Because I mean, I don't know how much this is gonna like. I don't know if it's gonna be one of those films that has like strong opening weekends, but then has like a drop. Similar.
It doesn't have a lot of competition this because it's a holiday. Remember, we got Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah.
So this is a family movie.
Yeah. So they were kind of smart in that regard.
Yeah. So this weekend's going to be massive. Thursday's going to be massive for them. Matter of fact, there's a chance we'll probably go on Thursday because we've had family coming in. So we're going to be looking at tickets tomorrow.
Yeah. Even though I know there are probably some people that are just going to be like, oh, I mean, I could go to the theaters and see this, or I could just stay home in the comfort of my own couch and watch Stranger Things. So,
well, here Maestro here says there's 5 books they can adapt. Yeah, I know, but they're gonna even with that they're gonna run out of source material at some point.
Yeah, you hear that, George R. Martin?
But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's 330 million in brand deals. This is why. So the reason why I wanted to point this out is because a lot of these channels on YouTube love to ignore. We talked about this earlier when you mentioned the box office for the Doomsday and Secret Wars movies, right? They love to ignore ancillary income, things that these movies do outside of just the box office. If Doomsday positions themselves correctly, they could make hundreds of millions of dollars in brand deals that will offset the cost of the movie. None of that is ever included in the box office. None of these guys ever include this kind of stuff.
And like with this, Doomsday is going to release right in the heyday of the holidays, so like the Avengers films have never done that before. Marvel hasn't done that a whole lot before. Like if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they've ever had an MCU film release in December, so this will be the first time that that's happening, so we'll see how well that works for them. They could ride that whole thing of, hey, like bring your families together for Christmas, see all these heroes together, yada yada. They'll probably word it better in promotional material, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, okay, yeah. So I was wrong. No Way Home's the only time that's been done. And granted, there were a lot of reasons that movie made as did it grossed like $1.9 billion. So, and that was done in a pandemic. So.
All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, and I was hoping Ronan was going to be here for this, but we'll go ahead and jump into this. FX orders a Far Cry anthology series based on the video game franchise. Noah Hawley and Rob Mack is going to be running this here. You guys are familiar with both of these people, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. And so I think, the guy who was one of the co-creators on Welcome to Derry was on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have obviously anthology means that the shows could be independent seasons where it doesn't follow any sort of like long form structure. And the reason why is they say the structure is going to mirror the game. So every season is standalone, new location and new cast.
Like those anthology type seasons, those can really work.
I mean, American Horror Story did it. So
true, but those can really work with video game franchises. Because you take things like Far Cry, which each season can adapt a game. Something like The Witcher, each season could adapt a different game. You could even take something I've been saying they should do this for years. Take an IP like Elder Scrolls. You could make you could make 5+ seasons of TV out of that, and have so much potential that you could do.
They also point out here that it will be streaming on Hulu in the U.S. while Hulu is still around, and Disney Plus internationally via FX. Let's see here. Yeah, so if you aren't familiar with the two guys in charge of this, Noah Hawley is from Fargo.
Yep.
And Rob Mack is from Always Sunny. So those are the two places you might know him from. Mythic Quest also, if you watch that show on.
Love Mythic Quest and Always Sunny.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? Is this something you would be interested in, or no?
I mean, I'll definitely check this out. I enjoyed the Far Cry games. I think in particular 3 and 5 are phenomenal games. And I would like to see story beats from those adapted. Maybe give this one. How do I best want to word this? This could do what Uncharted failed to do, in that give you that really visceral tone where they're like in that wilderness, foresty type of nature, and really take advantage of that setting. Because when you were in that area in the Uncharted film, a lot of it. Sorry, did I say Welcome to Derry? I meant Alien Earth. My bad.
Yeah.
But you could really take advantage of those settings, and the Uncharted film really did not do that. I had a lot of issues with that movie, but you could span.
Oh, you didn't love Uncharted?
No, I absolutely did not. But I'm definitely interested in this. I'm not going to pretend I'm like the biggest Far Cry fan, but I do really like the games.
I actually think Far Cry does sort of lean into like a movie or TV show. So
yeah,
I think it could work. Sure.
It could work either way, honestly.
Let me show you guys what hate watching does to you, right? Here's what hate watching does.
You can just pull up the stuff for Captain Marvel.
This is what hate watching does to shows that aren't good. So Kim Kardashian led All's Fair renewed for season 2 at Hulu. Oh. Now, I don't know anyone that liked this show, whether you're a fan of Ryan Murphy, whether you're a fan of Kim Kardashian, or any of the people in the show, because there's a lot of incredibly talented people in the show. It wasn't a great show. Matter of fact, some people said it's the worst show they've ever watched.
You know what other show people said was the worst they've ever watched, but they still hate watched it and got it a second season?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Go ahead and tell the chat, yes.
It's this little show called Velma.
Yep. And nobody watched the second season because they didn't really like the show. So this got a second season. We have people like Naomi Watts, Niecy Nash, Tiana Taylor, Sarah Paulson, Glenn Close, all part of the cast. Very bad reviews from fans and critics across the board. And I watched the first episode. We stopped watching like at the 40-minute mark. We just turned it off. It was like almost done. Whatever that third half act of the show is, we just stopped watching around that point. We didn't even finish the episode. But it performed very well in terms of viewership. Why? Because it's like watching a car accident. Everybody wants to see why it's a train wreck. So it performed really well. So now they're working on season 2 that's going to come out in spring 2026. So this is a case study of, style over substance so bad it's good, right? I mean, that has to be what this is. Because the critics panning it, fans panning it, it didn't kill it. It actually made people want to check it out. I mean... This is the equivalent of like engagement bait. Is what
if you would have just left it alone, it would have died under its own weight.
Yeah. Also, Kim Kardashian was actually trying to be a lawyer and did not pass her bar exam. So there's that. So there is a silver lining to this, though, right? What if they take all of the criticism that they got for season 1 and they try to fix it in season 2 and it ends up actually being a pretty good show?
I still don't care.
No. I mean, like, I'm
kidding.
Would you go back? Ignore that it's this show, right? If there was a show that had like one season and it was really bad, like everyone fucking hated it, but then the second season comes out and people are like, "Oh, the show is so much better now. They made it really good." Would you even bother going back to watch it if they fixed all the problems they had with the first season? Not this show specifically.
I don't know.
Any show. I
mean. Because I've been told that with other shows that I've tried watching in the past, they say, "Oh yeah, the first season's not great, but once you get past that, it's a turnaround." It's like, I don't think that's a good thing. Like, but I mean, granted, if like a slip up happens mid show and then they pick themselves back up, sure. But if it's a bad foundation, I don't know if I really want to watch that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where that goes.
I mean, I look at a show like The Office. Like that first season is trash.
Yeah.
Like I really do not like that first season, and people are like, "Oh, it gets better after that." I'm like, I don't really care to watch anymore.
All right. With that being said, we're going to move on to something really interesting. This is the story that was sharing the title of the stream if you're watching on the Reloaded channel. Brendan Fraser recently spoke about the Batgirl film, a movie that got written off for tax reasons to save money for, or it was, they said it was a write down, it was a write off. I'm not sure which one it was, but either way, the movie was removed from any planned release schedule.
They said it was a tax write off.
Yeah, yeah. So we know that it's, and people say they destroyed all the copies of it. I don't know if I believe that or not. I mean,
I don't believe that.
I don't know. I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat for this one and say that I think there's probably a copy floating around out there somewhere. But Brendan Fraser
would have been another movie that we got this guy in.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Brendan Fraser has been sort of on like this reignited renaissance with Hollywood, and people seem to be really enjoying the stuff he's been doing.
He had a hell of a comeback with The Whale.
Yeah. And he's just been on this upward swing, which I'm happy for him. I like the guy. I think he's a really talented actor. And, you know, he nostalgically, there's so many movies I remember growing up watching of him. So I love the fact that he's getting another opportunity to be a part of this. But it says here, Brendan Fraser says Batgirl Cancellation is an example of movies being commodified in Hollywood. It's more valuable to burn it down and get the insurance. Now, we're going to read a little bit of this article. He doesn't hold back, really. Brendan Fraser's always been transparent about his disappointment in Warner Brothers' decision to shelve Batgirl. The completed but unreleased DC superhero movie would have seen the Academy Award-winning actor play the villainous Firefly opposite Lesley Grace as the titular heroine. In an interview with the Associated Press on November 19, Fraser opened up about what was lost for creatives and audiences when the film was blocked from release and what its canceled communicates about the current state of Hollywood. Here's what he says. The product, content, that's so shady there, is being commodified to the extent that it's more valuable to burn it down and get the insurance on it than to give it a shot in the marketplace. I mean, with respect, we could blight itself. And now it says here that this was directed by Adele L. Arby. What is that? Yeah, it is. The movie was supposed to introduce Jacob Scapio as Anthony Bresci and Ivory Aquinto as Alicia Yao in the franchise, and replies J.K. Simmons as Jim Gordon and Michael Keaton as Batman. This would have been this cast just like so good. A whole movie, Fraser remarked. I mean, there were 4 floors of production in Glasgow. I was sneaking into the art department just to geek out. The actor continued to talk about the cultural impact the film could have made. The tragedy of that is that there's a generation of little girls who don't have a heroine to look up to and go, she looks like me. Grace would have been the first Batgirl to headline her own film and one of just a handful of women to get a standalone superhero movie in the male-dominated genre. I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, but this is true. This is the truth. It is a true statement. And the thing is, this is Brendan saying this, knowing that he's part of that male-dominated genre. He knows that. This isn't like, you know, some lead actress sort of mouthing off about it. It's literally a man who is. Well, look, let's put this into perspective. Brendan knows what it's like to not get work. He knows what it's like to be on the receiving end of Hollywood not giving a shit about you, and then having a comeback and understanding with that comeback, it is just as fragile as anything could be, you know, in this world. It says at the same time, Fraser also acknowledged that older fans would delight in seeing Keaton return as... Exactly! That's the other thing. He was, in my opinion, he was the best part of that Flash movie.
Best part.
I mean, Michael Keaton came back as Batman. The Batman, he said, Keaton made his debut as Batman in Tim Burton's 1998, blah, 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 blah. We all know this. And then
that's
it's just
why I
like
have faith
there. So
that's why I have faith in Andy Muschietti for Brave and the Bold.
Yeah. I am so...
He showed he can make a good Batman movie.
Look, I've streamed with several people. There's a couple people I know directly. This was one of the movies they were really looking forward to because they love Batgirl and they wanted to see this storyline. They liked what they saw from the movie. They wanted to see Michael Keaton come in and train Batgirl the same way he trained Batman and Batman Beyond. Very similar style and format. A lot of things here that could have been really good. And he's calling it out. He's saying that this is just Hollywood doing Hollywood, getting rid of movies that could potentially be great. Look, they estimated, I think they said that the insurance or the write down saved them like 130 million, I think, for getting rid of the movie. So they thought it was worth it to.
And it was on a budget of like 70 million or something.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
No,
Like,
that's the whole thing. When this first happened, I was like, the movie cost 70 million to make, so they wrote it down for like another 40 million, another 50 million. They didn't even give it a shot in theaters. Because keep in mind, this was a movie that could have been positioned to do really well. It is a Batman movie, so even though Michael Keaton's Batman was in the Flash movie, this movie is more directly connected to Batman than the Flash movie was.
Even though the marketing for the Flash movie was very Michael Keaton heavy because of all the controversy with Ezra.
Yes, but I think they could have done so much more, in my opinion, with all of that.
They definitely could have. I mean, shoot. I mean, it's very common knowledge that, Hamada wanted Batman. He wanted Keaton's Batman as the main Batman for his DCEU vision, which granted, I love Michael Keaton, but I'm very glad that did not go through.
Yeah, we had a comment here from Hassan. It says, has Lesley Grace done anything after the Batgirl cancellation? Let me check and see. I honestly hadn't kept up with anything. Let's see.
After you say that, I want to make a point on something.
Okay. There's a lot of Spanish language stuff that she's been associated with, music-wise. I don't see a lot, though, outside of that. Let's see. Nope. She's been involved with music, but that's it.
That's saddening.
That's it. So, yeah, this was one of those. This could have been the career starter for her, honestly, being associated with this. You said you had something you wanted to say. Go ahead and speak on it.
Yeah. So, what you could do at this point, and like with where we're at in DCU now, you probably know where I'm going with this. Gunn has said that, he said this 2 years ago, and he's still adamant on wanting to, really experiment with, the whole Elseworlds deal. If he's serious on that, you could release this as its standalone Elseworlds project, because, like, if it's going to have Keaton in there as Batman, then the only connective tissue that it would have to any prior DCEU stuff is J.K. Simmons as Jim Gordon. Mm-hmm. And, you've clearly shown that you can have someone in the DCEU look the same as in DCU, like we've seen with everybody that was in Peacemaker.
Right.
So just release this as a standalone thing in DCU. Release it as an Elseworlds project, because really at this point, what do you have to lose? Mm-hmm. There would be nothing to lose.
Yeah. That's
my point.
Well, that's good. Yeah, this is really sad. Like, this whole situation is such a bummer to me in general. Yeah, I want to see this movie. I don't know if we ever will. Look, I do believe if it is sitting on a shelf somewhere and another company gets access to Warner Brothers, they could potentially, like, release it, I guess.
Hassan, I wouldn't be upset at that.
Wildcat movie.
I wouldn't be upset.
All right, let's see where we're at. I know we are still, like,
doing better than Eric.
Yeah, exactly. We're an hour in now. Well, roughly an hour. I think we might be. No, we're right at the hour. I hit it.
Yep, right at the hour.
I literally said it as we hit the hour.
Yeah.
We are 0 out of 5 super chats on the Debunks channel. If you guys would like for me to put the poll's already up. If you'd like for me to select something from that poll, we need 5 super chats over there.
Yeah, the poll's up. I'll bring it out. It's over there. Kidding.
Yeah. And on the Reloaded channel, the poll is out as well, but we are 0 out of 5. Remember, guys, check the color of the super chat. Today it's a teal color, so make sure you check that. We're 0 out of 5. I know it's coming up on the holidays. I'm trying to keep it at 5 though, to make it easier for us to reach. The choices for the top 5 list on the poll tonight is worst TV shows of all time. That's one of them. Top 5 worst movies before the 2000s.
Oh.
Top 5 best actors of all time. And top 5 best motion capture performances. I thought we'd bring that back again. So,
Okay.
We tried to do a mocap one last time and it didn't do it, so I thought I'd bring it back this time. But
Nice.
if you guys want us to take any of these options in, we have to reach the super chat goal, and we're 0 out of 5 right now. So check the color when you're donating to make sure
Come
you're
on, guys,
donating the
pick
right
up the
amount.
pace.
Yeah. It's fine. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I know that people do like these bonuses. Which, by the way, if it's just me and Jake tonight, we had plans for a list, but I know the list that I planned. A certain someone really wanted to do it, and they can't be here tonight. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do unless.
Wait, which one of the lists was?
Well, the
it?
one that I was planning on doing was the favorite cartoon shows of all time, and I know that Darren really wants to be around for that one. So we'll see what's gonna happen. We'll see what's gonna happen.
He's not here tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes. All right, let's jump over to this bit of news here. Let me do this now. Oh, here we go. Let me bookmark it here. All right, so we got some updates to Rian Johnson's, I guess, trilogy, whatever it was going to be for Star Wars. Let's see. I have my notes, so I can find my notes here. All right. So in this interview here with, I believe this is Hollywood Reporter, Rian Johnson talked about his writing process, how he delays working on the actual mystery until after he's figured out the deeper character and thematic stuff. He explicitly disagrees with Netflix CEO, who recently called the traditional movie theater model outdated. So there's that. And according to this interview, we're not getting any sort of, at least not in the short term, any Star Wars content. He's busy with Knives Out. He's got the Wake Up Dead Man project. He doesn't seem to have anything going on with Star Wars. What are your thoughts on this? Well, first of all, let me ask you, were you looking forward to the Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy?
I mean, I wasn't actively, I wasn't saying kill it with fire, but if you're gonna ask me if I was like really hyped for it, I would have probably taken a neutral viewpoint, because I mean, The Last Jedi is one of, if not my least favorite Star Wars films. So I mean, granted, you definitely look at that movie and you can tell that Rian Johnson had a lot more free reign than somebody like J.J. Abrams had. So I appreciate the fact that Rian got to make the movie he wanted to make. It wasn't a movie for me, but was I interested to see what he would have done? Sure. Does that mean I would have connected with it? No, but you know what? It would have still been something to see.
So here's the exact part of the article where he talks about it. Johnson had signed on to mount a fresh Star Wars trilogy all the way back in 2017. And while that plan is effectively dead, he isn't saying goodbye yet. A part of my brain will always be Star Wars. It's so much a part of me and the way I think. So even though no plans to do it, he still loves Star Wars. So, I mean, look, there's a potential that he could come back at some later date. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like anything is happening with this. I don't know. So correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe your memory is better than mine. But this wasn't connected to the Rey film trilogy, right? Like this was a separate thing.
No.
Correct?
No, it was not connected.
So what was this supposed to be? Do you remember what it was supposed to focus on?
Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
Because I'm blanking on what it was actually about. I do remember them talking about it, and I remember there were some ideas floating around, but I don't remember exactly what it would have been about.
I remember seeing an article on it. Let me see if I can find it.
I can do this quickly.
Rian Johnson's planned Star Wars trilogy was to be a standalone series separate from the Skywalker saga, focusing on new characters exploring an unexplored corner of the universe. While Johnson said it was no longer in development, the initial concept was to introduce entirely new characters and stories, with Johnson writing and directing the first film. The product was ultimately sidelined as Johnson returned to the Knives Out franchise.
Yeah. So it would have been like a brand new set of characters for us to follow.
Yeah. Which I'm not against. Like, I've been saying that, Star Wars is so much bigger than just the Skywalker name. Like, you can do so much. it's not connected to it. And I think some of the best things that we've been getting lately have been completely disconnected from the Skywalker name, like Andor, like Skeleton Crew. Like, I love both of those projects, and they're non-Star Wars.
I'm going to disagree with this take here. Star Wars will depend on the Mandalorian Grogu. If that bombs, I think they're done. Period. I don't think so.
Hard disagree.
This movie, I think there is a lot to be said about the power behind the Grogu character and the Mandalorian character, but this movie wasn't necessarily. I don't think they're hinging the whole Star Wars franchise on a Mandalorian movie.
No.
Right?
No.
I don't think so, personally. Star Wars IP, I think, okay, when you're saying they're done, I'm not totally sure what you mean, Marvel Boy. Star Wars as a IP makes so much money on merchandising for them that all these movies are typically is ways for them to sell more merch. That's what it is.
And with a merchandising icon like Grogu, like you can walk into a Walmart and like see a dedicated section for a bunch of Grogu plush toys. Like, that is the Groot of Star Wars when it comes to marketing and stuff around them. Like, they can go hog wild with that character, like putting the character on sweatshirts, coffee mugs. You know, I've even seen like, you know, Christmas themed sweaters with Grogu on them now. So it's, they can go nuts with the marketing.
According to studies done like over Forbes and stuff, Star Wars merchandise, this includes toys, apparel, licensed goods, has generated a total of $70 billion in revenue. $70 billion. Star Wars consumer products, which is merch outside of just stuff sold directly from Disney or Lucasfilm, has driven $42 billion in revenue over time. This is like offloading merchandise.
You're talking about a franchise that's been around for 50 years.
Yeah. The box office numbers, like in the article that I'm looking at here from Forbes, it says the box office number revenue is just around 10 to 11 billion in terms of what Star Wars is. 70 billion they've made in merch sales.
Yeah.
This doesn't count the park stuff. Like I'm wondering.
Is the video game stuff included in that?
No.
Yeah, so that's a whole other thing you got to look at. And you know, like all those Lego Star Wars games, they were being thrown like candy, and people were eating it up and buying all the re-releases, all the bundles, everything like that. Whenever they had the whole Lego Skywalker saga, that was a massive profit. So yeah, this franchise is. If it is not gonna hinge on.
I'm doing a little bit of digging here. I'm curious. Let's see. The park experience just for the Star Wars side of it, which comes out is in the Disney's 2024 annual report, right? There was 34 million in supplemental revenue, so that's like ticket sales, things like that. Oh, okay. This is interesting. They said they're not releasing full numbers of what it does because it's too much of a breakdown, I guess, for them to go through and like try to figure out how much each dollar is spent. But it says here that Disney is going to be investing $60 billion over 10 years into the parks and cruise business. But that's for everything, not just Star Wars. But you have to remember that the parks are where they sell the most expensive merchandise.
Yep.
When you go to the parks and you buy a t-shirt, you're paying like $50 for a shirt.
The parks, the conventions, and like all the stuff that's sold by like third parties and stuff at conventions, that's not factored into these calculations either.
Yeah.
Things that like, Star Wars Celebration last year, or no, earlier this year, sorry.
Yeah.
Huge numbers in product sales.
But you know what, Jake? When we watch these channels that are like, Star Wars is dying, Star Wars is dead, they never talk about anything but the box office numbers.
Nope. And even then, the argument is null and void because they're like, oh man, the prequels are hated by everybody. They really took the franchise in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
All three of those things that you want to claim as failures made over $1 billion each.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Columbia Rican here with a relevant super chat, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. First of all, the Mandu Grogu movie looks amazing, so I doubt it will bomb at all. And second, Grogu is the star of my Christmas tree right now. Well, there you go.
I have the bat signal as my.
Well, the good news is I believe, let me double check the budget, but I think the Mando and Grogu movie has a pretty modest budget, but let me double check.
It's on the lower end.
Yeah,
I
let me
think.
see.
It's like it's one something.
Let me see here. Yeah, I thought it was pretty low. We looked at it before.
Yeah. Is it like 130 or something?
Well,
like that?
so it's 160, but they got a $22 million tax credit in California. So
Okay.
you would subtract that from the 160.
So I'm still close.
Yeah. And that's just that one tax credit that's publicly available. So again, guys, when they talk about budgets, they never include tax credits. Tax credits take money off of it. They never, like the Wicked thing, right? Wicked, the $330 million in promotional tie-ins and partnerships covered not only the cost of the movie, but the cost of advertising. So they'll never cover that shit, though.
That's like what I was talking about with Doomsday earlier. You're looking at like a 500, 600, ballpark just to make the movie. That's not even factoring in something like advertising.
Yeah. Well, advertising, like, this is the other thing, and these guys know this. If you've ever ran a business, you understand that advertising is a loss leader. You put that money in, assuming that it's going to help you long term, not just on that one project. For example, if I advertise, spend a lot of money on advertising for Spider-Man, right? It's not just for Spider-Man. It's for any other project that comes out beyond Spider-Man. That's what advertising does. It brings eyes to the table. If I have a restaurant, yeah, I mean, I run my own business. When I pay for ads in places like Facebook for different events and stuff like that, that's just money that's gone. I don't factor that into the cost of the event. It's a separate thing entirely. And a lot of times advertising can be written off in your taxes depending on how you do it.
Right.
So like that's why you just don't include that, but they include it in everything. So
right, and like for people that like own their own companies and whatnot, like say you have your own company that you run, like whether it's I'm gonna use the example of a buddy of mine. He ran a company that does image consultation. Say you get like a $4,000 check, you set $1,000 of that aside for taxes at the end of the year. So it's not like all that $4,000 that you get is just like, okay, what can we do with this? A quarter to a third of that is just like set aside, not to be touched.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm just double checking here. Okay, so I was just double checking here about the concept of loss leaders for sales. And I just want to double check for large companies because I know for like me, it's different. I'm a small business owner. Like it's not the same, right? But shareholders don't just look for profit. They're looking for growth. And that's what advertising does. It's indirect value generation for these guys. So they don't care about that the same way that like a small business would. All right, we got a super chat here from Steigervort, $4.99 super chat, and a channel member. Thank you so much. Will there be a stream after the fate of Warner Brothers is revealed? Yes, like whatever day that is, it doesn't matter if we get the news at like 3 p.m. I will probably stream almost immediately to talk about it.
I wish somebody would just hurry up and finish that because I'm tired of hearing about it.
Well, I didn't have it as a subject today, but like I told them, if you super chat about it, I will talk about it. I don't know what's going to happen, but no matter what happens, it is going to be a net negative to Hollywood. Doesn't matter what company gets Warner Brothers, it's going to be a negative to Hollywood.
I mean, I've said it. If I were Warner Brothers, I would not sell just yet.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that, okay, so let me tell you why they don't give a shit now. David Zaslav got them to write in a thing so that he stays in his position no matter what happens.
Yep.
We talked about this like 2 weeks ago.
He doesn't get hit either way.
Yeah. So for him, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they sell tomorrow. It doesn't matter if they sell next week. It doesn't matter if they sell at all. No matter what happens, he's going to be the head of Warner Brothers till 2030. No matter what.
He has got. I'm sorry. He has got such a not in my backyard mindset that it's damaging.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably stream whenever that pops up. I'm thinking I will. All right, we're gonna get into an article. Let me get the article ready here. Where's it at? Oh, great. So it's a paid site, but luckily, I was able to get the information.
I was gonna ask, are there any lists that we'd be able to knock out with just two of us?
I don't know. It'd be a very short thing, right? Like, I feel like a lot of these are things that it's more fun with multiple people.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the worst live action villains. I know that people would want to be here for that one.
I mean, I was thinking like one of the Arrowverse centric ones, because I know like that's not something that Ronan is very well versed in. So
yeah, I really haven't. If you're talking about the ones where you were talking about like fixing the seasons and stuff, I haven't finished writing all that out.
Oh no, I was just like, I know we did like a best Arrow episodes one like a while back. Like I know that one, but
yeah,
I didn't know if we would want to like throw that in, or if you wanted to add that onto like a Saturday stream or something.
I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. We'll figure it out. I'll make a decision here shortly. All right. So I was able to get information from this. Let me make sure I have the page open, because this is from the Wrap, and the Wrap now has a paywall, which really is annoying. Yeah, I'll show you here in a second.
Stupid.
Yeah. There's a paywall. You're already serving me ads. So, all right. So here's the article. I'm going to go ahead and bookmark this for later. So this is an article about Lesley Headland, who was the person behind the Acolyte, and it's an interview, right? Look, subscribe for $1 a week. So you like, in order to read this article, you have to pay. Yeah. But I took some notes on what was said, so we're going to go over some of the things that were said in this article. I tracked it all down online, so
all the dollar menu items this used to be able to get you.
Yeah. I'm okay. Look, I'm okay with like letting ads run on a site if it means that I get to read it for free. I don't understand why sites like The Wrap are shilling memberships this way, like blocking this kind of content. This isn't. I don't think this is a high profile article. It's a
not.
show from like, a couple of years ago. And I don't like, if you're going to paywall something, make it something a bit more interesting than this one.
Right. Like something that people will actually be incentivized to pay for.
Yeah. Where's it at? Let me scroll up here. Okay. So, all right. So here she's talking about the Acolyte cancellation. She said she's been in the business for a long time. She has a specific voice rooted in dark comedy. She said the cancellation was not totally surprising to her. She knew there was a risk for the show. A big part of her reflection is how creators and studios misunderstand modern fandom and engagement. Let's talk about that. Do you agree with that? Do you think studios misunderstand modern fandom?
I think it honestly kind of goes both ways sometimes.
You think so?
Like, sometimes I think studios, sometimes they have the wrong idea, but a lot of the times fans also, they think they understand how these business type decisions work, and they have no fucking clue.
Yeah. I think, so I look at it from a different perspective, right? I think that most studios, especially the big ones, if we're talking about Disney, we're talking about Warner Brothers, we're talking about any of these large studios, there's a divide on that upper level when it comes to the creation process.
Sure.
A lot of people at the top end understand finances and ways to make money that I can't even conceptualize. But they're also not the people that are capable of making creative decisions that make sense.
Right. That's where the line is. Like,
yeah.
Do I think they are very knowledgeable from a business sense? Yes, absolutely. But that does not mean that they are, for lack of a better term, creatively talented.
She points out that a lot of the money following the Acolyte wasn't just from the show being watched, from content about the show, recaps, commentary, fan creators making ad revenue on Patreon or Patreon income. So that's talking specifically about reactor channels, right? People that do reactions and then paywall them behind Patreon because it's harder for them to get a copyright claim for doing that.
Are you reading a part of the article that I can't see?
I can't. I had to put this in a little note section for myself.
Oh, okay.
But you can't see the notes here on StreamYard for some reason.
Right. Okay.
I thought every.
Yeah, like I thought you were scrolling down on this thing.
I'm scrolling through my notes. Yeah. So, so she's talking about reaction channels. She's talking about people putting up the show like almost in full on Patreon where they're watching it. A lot of the hate channels that are doing bad reactions to it and things like that. I believe I'm of two minds on this one. I think there's a level of fair use that I agree with. Like if you're going to recap the show, review the show, you love the show, you hate the show, I think that's fair. That's absolutely fine. I think if you're reacting to an entire episode and then locking it behind something like Patreon or something along those lines, I think that's a problem.
So honestly, it feels weird to call this old, but the old fair use method that they would come up with for, reacting to stuff, and you especially saw this with people who would react to Arrowverse shows, is that they had a hard cap on, like, you could only show up to 10 minutes of footage, and a lot of reaction channels would have like a timer that went up as you saw whatever show they were reacting to, and you would see like whenever it hit the 10-minute, or sometimes it was a little bit less than that, then that was it. And they, handpicked, they were like, okay, what were the best, moments of this that I want to include my reactions to? What are the best things to include? And that system worked well enough, but then a lot of channels just kept kind of getting hit at random for certain things, and it completely threw the system like in the garbage.
Would you guys like if I would copy and paste these notes and then like pull them up in a Google Doc? Would that be better? So we can read it together, maybe? Let me see. Hold on. I'll copy it from here, then move it over to Google Docs. Because there's a lot of quotes here I want to talk about. A lot of them. Let's see. There we go. No, I don't want to delete that. So the other thing that StreamYard, if you're watching, please make notes visible for like everybody, and also make it so I can look at them without making it a teleprompter, which is really annoying. That's really annoying. All right, let's do this. Okay, here we go. These were from the notes I was reading from. All right, let's see. They're talking about Star Wars critics. This is moving from the last thing we just spoke about here. There are some of them that I respect, and there's some of them that I think are absolutely snake oil salesmen, just opportunists. Then, of course, there are the fascist and racist. So it runs a gamut. And the context is a longtime fan herself dismisses the toxic online backlash against her show as a mix of grifters and bigots, revealing her insider disillusionment. I'm just going to say that she's not wrong. I mean, there is a wide variety of people that talk about Star Wars content, and yes, some of them are racist. I mean, that's just it's not a lie.
I mean, Eric, that sounds like a theory. A Star Wars never mind.
So let's break down what she says here. She respects some of them, which is good. Meaning, there's some people out there that she watches and she probably enjoys. And then, of course, there are fascists and racist. Now, the fascists are the ones that are out here siding with the empire and shit like that, and saying that, these are the people we should be looking up to, and blah, blah, blah. And I know it's funny to giggle and laugh at it because it is a little silly, but what she's saying is true. We've seen it.
It's completely true.
We've seen this. We know it exists. And this is not her attacking the fans. She's literally attacking fascist and racist.
When they've been painting this exact picture that she's describing for the last couple years.
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing here? Honestly. Anyway, she says here, ultimately we can be moving towards a world where the content being made about Star Wars will be more culturally impactful than actual Star Wars. So what do you think about that?
Wait, hold on. Say that again?
So she's following up the statements that we just read, right? Ultimately, we could be moving towards a world where the content being made about Star Wars will be more culturally impactful than actual Star Wars. Thoughts? I mean, you know what she means, right?
Yeah. It's not completely far-fetched. I don't know if there's like a black and white answer to that. Like, I think there's some gray in there, but I get what she's saying.
So she's essentially talking about all these channels that we watch where people are just talking about Star Wars, like we're doing right now.
Right. And like
being more relevant than actually watching and engaging with Star Wars.
Well, that applies to a lot of different forms of media, because like you have like all these shows, films, franchises, yada yada that people love. People talking about them and like people enjoying them for generations on will go on longer than the things themselves. And like I don't think it's bad to think that, and to a degree it's what can keep some of those things alive. But granted, we don't know how long all of these things can run. We see they're still up and going today, but we don't know what it's going to look like in 10 years, say. So it's hard to really say that that's true or not. I think it could be, but we don't know.
Okay. Then she follows up with saying, on the studio's cluelessness about the online fandom, remember we spoke about that a minute ago. And by the way, have at it, get your coin 100%. But it revealed to me there's a misunderstanding between the studios and that engagement. They think of it as fandom, but studios use it like it's a focus group. Well, it says here the context on the summary, the summary that I pulled up. Sarcasm drips as she greenlights creators profiting off of hate bait while roasting executives for treating toxic discourse like market research. That's essentially what she's saying here.
I mean, that's almost like, one of those self-fulfilling prophecy things, because, the hate that they're giving a lot of those products is what keeps those products alive in discussion.
I'm on two sides of this one. I will plant my foot in one, but let me just give you my thoughts on this. Like, I think it's really important. I think it's okay for people to dislike something and want to talk about it. Like, I think that's fine. Yeah. If you dislike a movie and you just want to talk about why you dislike a movie, that's okay. If I want to get on here and talk about why I think Thor: Love and Thunder should have been broken up into 3 movies, I think that's fine. That's fair. That's fair to have that conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there's a difference between that and saying that gay people are indoctrinating children, which is what they were saying about something like Skeleton Crew, where we saw lesbian parents in one scene for 5 seconds, if that, and they said that that's Disney trying to indoctrinate children. There's a clear difference in the conversations that are being had there, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I would say that is a toxic hate community versus a community that just wants to talk about a movie or a TV show they don't like.
Well,
there's a different thing.
One is discussion and one is people trying to spin a very specific narrative.
Right, which is what I think the difference is here. When they're saying that there's a toxic discourse and the studios are treating it like market research, is they're not pushing back against the hate bait, which is that stuff. Let me give you guys 2 examples here, right? So we'll talk about specifically about the Acolyte, okay? If I say I don't like the Acolyte, I did like the Acolyte, but let's say if I put me in the position of somebody that doesn't like the show. If I were to say, I don't like the Acolyte because I think the episodes were too uneven. I don't like the Acolyte because I wanted it to tie into the greater universe, and I don't think they did that. I don't like the Acolyte because some of the choices they made with cinematography. I don't like the Acolyte because I don't think the acting was very strong. I didn't like the script. I thought the story was a little bit strange. I didn't like the way the season ended. There's a lot of things you could dislike about a show and talk about it. If I say that, that's all valid. Those are all conversations we can have. You and I can go back and forth about any of those topics and try to figure out if there was a mistake they made, if there's something they could fix. Those are all, to me, fair conversations to have. Here's the kind of stuff that I do not agree with and I don't think adds any value to the conversation. I don't like the Acolyte because a black woman is the lead character. I don't like the Acolyte because there's a queer person in the show. I don't like Acolyte because I believe there was DEI in the film in the process of making the show. I don't like Acolyte because the woman in charge of the Acolyte says weird things that I don't like. Those are not constructive conversations to have about the show.
No.
Any of those things that I just said, there's no constructive dialogue to any of that. So the response to that would be, I don't like a black woman being the lead of the show. What's the solution to that? You don't want to see black people, right? So that's what I'm saying. There's no dialogue to be had there. There's a clear divide between conversations you can have about how bad something is and bigoted conversations. And I think that's an important distinction that people need to have when it comes to this.
People often try to hide their bigoted criticism as regular criticism, and their truth and what they actually mean often shines through in their dialogue.
I'm going to give you guys a crash course on what that looks like. So say, for example, there's a content creator who puts up a bunch of thumbnails of black people doing stereotypical things, whether it be saying, some words that they think sound like a black person, or making their hair an afro, or showing them eating or drinking something that's stereotypically black, putting gold chains around their neck, things like that. Those are their thumbnails, and their titles are "We Was Jedis" or something along those lines, right? That's what they put up as their title and thumbnails. And then you click on the video and they're like, oh, it's narrative DEI and grooming, and all the people who make this content don't know what they're talking about. And this is the Disneyfication of blah, 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 et cetera, whatever. That kind of content, to me, does not make any sense.
No,
there's no hiding what that is.
It doesn't contribute anything either.
And only a stupid person or a dishonest person would look at that and go, yeah, this is normal behavior.
Yeah. Like, you would have to be kidding yourself if you thought that was okay.
So I think the issue with the Acolyte and Leslye here and Amandla and everybody involved with the show is they were dealing with two different types of disagreements. Again, you have the valid stuff that I spoke about earlier, where if I told you, Jake, I didn't like the fight scenes in the Acolyte, I think they were better in the original trilogy or something along those lines. We can then have dialogue about that. That's a conversation we can have, and everybody can jump into it. And even the people that made the Acolyte could learn something from that, because that is a peek into the minds of the fans that just want the shows to be better. People that have an issue with a black woman as the main character or a gay person in 5 seconds of a scene, there's no constructive value to that for anybody making the show. None.
No.
So anyway, let's move on here. She goes on to say, I was surprised how it was handled, but once I was getting the particular phone calls about the reaction, the criticism, and the viewership, I felt like, okay, the writing's on the wall for sure. So this was pretty much after the show was done and it was already out. So that's why I don't remember, somebody in the chat I think said something about whether or not the ending was a cliffhanger and they knew it was, that it was over. I don't remember which person talked about it, but it was while the show was airing. At that point, the show was done. It was already being released week to week, and there was nothing could be done at that point. And here we go. The last couple here. I think that the streaming bubble is now bursting. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. We're seeing the bubble is bursting and becoming much more conglomerated bubbles, which is why we're seeing a lot of bundles of shows, and networks and streaming platforms kind of combined together.
Yep, and at that point it becomes about as much as cable to pay for it. The only difference is you can actually pick what you watch.
They're combining like Voltron or...
Oh, God. Yeah, they're combining like Devastator.
I was going to say that's the other one that was coming to my mind. Or the Power Rangers. Captain Planet.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And I think that we started around COVID. Gosh, a half-hour black comedy with a female lead who's dealing with existential problems. Just that bread and butter. The height of streaming would have sold immediately. I had a revelation about this the other day when I was thinking about COVID-era TV shows and movies and why we saw so much more diversity on that. You ready to hear this revelation? You can tell me if I'm batshit crazy, Jake. In the chat, you can also tell me. But I think I've solved the riddle of all this.
Oh?
Okay. So when COVID was going on, I'm not talking about the COVID sickness. COVID is still around. I'm talking about the COVID era when people were locked down. They couldn't go anywhere. A lot of networks wanted to make sure they were delivering content for every single person because no one could go anywhere. So that's why we saw a lot of diversity pop up during the streaming era of COVID because networks were like, we want people to spend money on our streaming service. We want to provide content for people, and we want to make that net as wide as possible. So I think a lot of stuff that happened during that era was not for any virtuous reason. It wasn't Disney and Warner Brothers and all these other companies going, hey, look at us, we're so good over here, rainbows and Black Lives Matter and all that. I don't think that's the way exactly. They weren't feeling that way about it. They saw money on the table, and that money is, we're going to make content for everybody because we know it's going to make us the most money. Now, I was never like confused about this. I know corporations are always about making money, but the idea of diversity, which I still think is important, if you don't have the company behind you, like what she's saying here, if the company isn't actually supportive of the thing that you're doing, then you're not going to get any help. When the fans scream about it, the company doesn't give a fuck if they're like, oh, it's a black woman, burn it down, or we don't like the writing. They don't care because there's no difference to them when the money stops coming in.
Yeah. They don't look inward at those factors.
So for them, it's like, oh, it didn't work. It didn't work out. So
that's the thing right there. They say it didn't work out, and they never stop to ask why.
Great quote, by the way.
I just made that up on the fly. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one. On the DEI backlash tied to politics, which I find this very weird because DEIA and politics share, like, if you're overlapping them, there's like a small border that shares something, but
yeah, it's that little, it's
the
like
Venn diagram. Yeah, like it's like
that little Venn diagram that you draw, like the common circle is like,
yeah.
That
so it says in 2024, I remember thinking, oh gosh, I wish it wasn't coming out in an election year. I think that contributed to the move away from DEI hires. I think she means in cultural context, like the idea that the studios didn't want to continue to actually put forth any sort of like diversity, equity, or inclusion in their hiring processes because of it being an election year. I think that's fair to say. I still think that studios that gave a shit could have kept doing it because we know some still do. Oh, yeah. And there's like an article that came out the other day where it was like Disney is getting rid of their DEIA or whatever, but they're just changing the name of it.
Yeah.
Let me double check. I want to see they changed the name of it.
Just vibing to some of that music in the background.
All right, let's see what it's called. There's a different name. I saw it the other day. It's so Disney is replacing its diversity and inclusion metric into a new metric called talent strategy. Talent strategy still includes the DEI elements, but now it's more aligned with business success and values. So the thing about it is they're still doing it. It's still a thing in the company. It's just rolled into another program. So there's no separate, like, specific DEI program. It's just included inside of the structure of the company so that their talent strategy is inclusive, but not separate from everything else they're doing.
Just sounds like cogs in a machine.
That's true. That's true. Let's see where we're at here. Hold on, I thought I thought I saw another super chat come in. Did it not show up?
I don't see one.
Let me double check. Hold on. Oh no, it was over here. It's on my these over here. I saw it on it's an old one from earlier.
Go on, Eric. Get with the times.
I know. I had the wrong screen open. All right. We are still 1 out of 5 on both channels. I don't think we're going to reach it tonight. It might be the first time. Well, the last time we did not reach the goal was in 2024.
You almost made it through the whole year.
2024, we didn't reach the goal. We are like almost at the end of the year and 4 super chats away. Anyway, let's see. What
Guys,
else
YouTube is killing this channel.
Yeah, it's killing the channel. So The last thing I had over here in my notes is Jungle Cruise 2 is dead at Disney now. There's no plans for that movie to come out. Is that shocking to you at all?
No.
No love for the Jungle Cruise?
I didn't particularly care for it, no. I mean, I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum, but it was just not my thing.
Let's see here.
Oh. Screwface coming through in the clutch.
Is it just me or is it not counting them?
Well, I can't see.
It says 1 out of 5, but I know we've had at least a couple of super chats on the channel.
So I don't see the 1 out of 5, so I can't see the bar to confirm that.
As of right now, according to my numbers over here, we got 4 out of 5 super chats.
And yet the thing is only counting 1?
It only counted 1, yeah. I mean, it's right over on the Debunks channel. It is 1 out of 5 over there. But over on the Reloaded channel, it says 1 out of 5. And there's, like, look at the starred super chats, Jake. I know you can see that.
Yeah.
There's 5 of them. One of them is from the Debunks channel.
Scrolling back through here. Yeah, I'm seeing all these.
Oh, right. Sorry. That's why. The under $4 super chats don't count.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what it is. I always try to do different colors. But anyway, we have 4 out of 5 right now of all super chats. But to contribute to the goal, it has to be teal. That makes sense.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah. But thank you, Screwface Capone. We'll see where we're at in a bit, because I don't know how much longer we're going to be live. I thought we'd at least have like one other person. But Jake and I holding down the ship today, by the way.
Tough crowd.
Let's talk about Zootopia.
I mean,
all right.
You can be honest. If you would rather do it alone, I get it.
No. Okay. Louise here, who is a great account. If you're still on Twitter, if you're still over there in that cesspool, he's probably one of the better accounts.
Speaking of on Twitter, I called out. I got something to show after this, but
okay. All right. It says here, what's going on? Just unreal what's happening to Zootopia 2 at China's box office. Officially beating F9's total pre-sales as Hollywood's biggest post-COVID ahead of its November 26th Wednesday opening day. Finishing 8th on Monday with is that supposed to be Monster? Or Monster? I don't know. So it says it leaves behind Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, which had 20.9 million in pre-sales cumulative at some point. Keeps increasing, despite Zootopia 2 kicking off almost 1 million behind on Monday. What do you think about? Are you going to see Zootopia 2? Are you a fan of Zootopia by any chance?
I mean, I saw the first film and I was like, you know what? This feels very like old of me saying this, but I saw this. I was like, you know what? I'm sure this appeals to the youth. I didn't hate it, but I'm probably not going to go see the second one.
We had so much to talk about. Actually, there were several topics I had because I thought Darren was going to be here, and I know he likes a lot of the animated stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like animated stuff too. This just. Again, I don't think this was. I don't think it was bad from what I remember. It's just not something I would go revisit.
I get it.
I'll give it credit. It does have a very talented voice cast.
Oh wait,
also,
hold on.
Over at stores near me, there are Funkos for Zootopia everywhere.
Speaking of Funkos, this is so funny you just mentioned that. Someone sent something to me and I just bookmarked it. Let me do it here. Did you see this?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, this is fucking hilarious.
The Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Oscar, can I get you on this one, please?
Yeah, man, I'm at the next one.
Oh.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oscar, can I get you on this one, please?
Yeah, I'm at the next one.
Oh.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you. Oscar, can I get you on
I
this
have to
one,
watch it one more time.
I'm at the next one.
Oh.
He doesn't sign Funkos.
Oh man.
Oh.
It's a canon event. He doesn't sign Funkos.
Is there some other market for this that I'm not aware of when it comes to Funkos where people are doing this and then selling them? Is that what it is?
I don't really know. Like when it comes to like if I want to get something signed by a person, here, you know what? I'll actually show it because I have it right here on my desk. It's not a like I wouldn't go as far as getting like a Funko or a toy signed by a person unless it was like a very, very special circumstance. The thing that I would typically go to get signed whenever I go around to conventions, I have this pair of little notebooks that's in front of me, and kind of so in kind of an arrow style, I have like people's I literally have people's names like written in there, and then I cross them off whenever I meet them, and then they would start signing this blank book. So I've got like a bunch of different autographs in this thing. So that's what I typically have somebody sign, unless I'm going for the purpose of having something else. And yeah, I've gotten like 40 signatures in this thing over the last 3 years. So it's been a good hobby too. And I see all these people that go around, like I have a friend that goes around to different conventions with this giant Captain America shield that she gets signed. And I'm thinking, you're going to run out of room on that thing pretty quickly. And, we're like, whereas this, it's got pages upon pages that can, you can probably fit like 4 or 5 to a page. And like these were $10 a pop, and I've still got plenty of pages left. So that's typically what I go as far as getting something signed that's not like an official print there. So as far as like the appeal of getting toys signed, I personally don't see it. So,
well, some people seem to love. I would probably not get Funko signed just because I don't think it's going to hold a lot of value, to be honest.
Oh well, Dalton, you figured it out. You caught us.
What was that?
Dalton's comment.
Oh,
yeah. I sent you that thing. Speaking of Twitter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was on somebody's. This was on somebody's Twitter today because good old Rob of the Liefeld variety.
Yeah. Go ahead. You sent it to me.
Yeah, I sent it to your DM.
Okay.
He went out with another well-worded comment, quote-unquote, well-worded, talking about how the VFX on a certain giant purple planet eater, not plant eater.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he does eat plants. I don't know. But saying that the VFX looked bad and that it looked fake and that the Marvel VFX, quote-unquote, fell off a cliff. So first I sent you the original screenshot. And then, if you want to go to my Twitter, you'll see what I responded to him with.
Let me see here. Are you still on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm still on there. We follow each other.
No, but I didn't know you were still posting. I know you still have an account.
Yeah.
You're still posting.
But so the funny thing was that with this post, Ralph Ineson, I just sent you the screenshot of that. Ralph Ineson, Galactus himself, quote tweeted this, responding to it.
Why does it keep asking me for my passcode on Twitter? What fucking world are we in? Every time I go to my DMs, it's like, enter your passcode. Why? Why do I have to do that every time I go in there? I hate Twitter. I hate it. Sorry.
Don't apologize. So I sent you the screenshot of what Ralph Ineson said in Discord.
Everything is so complicated. There we go. Never mind. Crisis averted.
All right, so are you...
Well, I'm trying. Now it's saying sync in progress. I just want to click a motherfucker's profile. Why is it doing... It literally says sync in progress. What does that even mean?
Sorry,
I'm not kidding. Look.
I went and put a bunch of firewalls up overnight.
What does this even mean? I'm just trying to click on your profile. Oh, my God.
Okay, there we go.
Why? Oh,
right.
Somebody's in the green room. Joe is here on a Monday?
Yeah, didn't you get my text?
Oh, no. We've been screaming for a few hours now. So
Yeah, if you want to go down in there and look what I responded to Liefeld with.
You just texted me?
I texted you about 15, 20 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Well, we were busy screaming about the Acolyte, so...
Oh, I love the Acolyte. What were you screaming?
Me too. Oh, there was an interview with Lesley Headland.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Okay, this is funny. Yeah, we're gonna look at his thing here, but yeah, this is probably one of the worst pieces of art I've ever seen in my
I
life.
said, are we sure he should be complaining about characters looking fake?
I don't want to objectify Captain America, but he does have some nice boobies.
But he had like all boobs and no bump. Like, what is happening over here? This captain is like a wall. It's
Yeah,
a
that-
complete fucking. Did
Yeah,
his penis fall off a cliff? I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
That tweet's gotten some decent attention.
Look at the way the fucking feather over here, the wing over here is like off the top. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, but having
Anyway.
Ralph Ineson call him out was just the icing on the cake.
Should I look at the quote tweets? That might be funny. I've got a quote tweet for this.
Did you
too,
see?
so-
Did you see Ralph Ineson's?
No.
So I sent you a screenshot of that in
Engage
your Discord.
with it. Yeah. Well, we'll look through them here.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
here it is. Here it is.
Yeah,
here it is.
yeah. We'll look it through these. So before we do this, though, Joe, Lesley Headland said that there was a lot of stuff she said, but one of the big ones was that she called out the racism and the fascism and the bigotry around the Acolyte recently, and talked about how that factored into the cancellation of the show. So
I keep saying canceling that show was incredibly foolish.
it was quick
Because
too. It was very quick.
It was the second highest rated show on Disney Plus that year.
Yeah.
And the issue was the budget. It was too expensive. Okay, you know what you do? You cut the budget. That's what CW did with Superman. They were going to cancel. They were going to bring Superman back for a fourth year. They're like, let's cut the budget. They cut the budget. They made the best season.
Yeah, that season was really good. All right, so let's see what's being said here. Rent free. Face with tears of joy.
You know you're a
Okay.
joke when Galactus himself clowns you with 2 words and an emoji.
Wrap it up, folks. Marvel and their VFX apparently fell off a cliff with Fantastic Four first steps. And we're looking at some of the shots here. Look at this. Yeah. Hard disagree on that.
Is something supposed to be wrong with those shots?
Oh, Rob Liefeld here says, looks so fake. The Marvel FX fell off a cliff when he's talking about Galactus.
Still mad that he didn't get that.
Which, by the way, I want to point out that most of the shots of Galactus were not VFX, by the way. Here we go.
Liefeld's still mad that he didn't get that party invite.
This man has been milking the fuck out of the fact that he created a parody of Marv Wolfman and George Perez's work in the 90s, thinking that he's the hottest shit alive for it. His prize creation really isn't that original work. Boy, learn to shut the fuck up. Damn.
He wasn't even the one that made that character successful.
No, the version that was successful was after he was no longer writing for the character.
Right.
A Twitter GIF idiot. Like, I haven't seen a positive quote tweet yet. So and this is on Twitter, which has surprised me. Typically, Twitter's full of like brain rot shit. You're blind if you think the VFX look bad here. I would agree. That actually looks like he's really on fire. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Oh my God. Looks so fake. Marvel art fell off the cliff.
See, look, I'm somebody must have got inspired by my thing and used this. Kidding.
What do you get out of lying, you asshole? This parasocial antagonistic relationship you have with Marvel Studios is ridiculous. So the comment section isn't going the way you planned. Oh, wow. Wow. Rob's just mad they never brought his
Damn.
Captain America to life. Damn, this Captain America is getting a lot of
Man,
traction.
did I start a movement or something?
It's an infamous picture.
Wake up, dog. They beating your ass in the quotes. He's doing too much now. Calling Galactus of all things fake is insane, man. Especially when it's literally Ralph in a suit. That's the best part. Here we go again. This is a bad version. Like, it's like a picture of a picture. It's the quality so bad. What the fuck are you saying, old man? Damn, yeah, that was a great shot right there. I love that shot. This motherfucker is so embarrassingly petty, it's actually hilarious. Rage bait used to be believable. This 30-foot dude on fire doesn't look realistic.
You know what's funny is people are constantly using this image, and I mean, granted, I was thinking about doing this before I made the quote tweet. Like, I was thinking about acknowledging the fact that's like, and you can't even make feet look real, but that's the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. Well, let's keep going here. Just how real do you want this massive band to look? Rob Liefeld's art can't fall off a cliff because it's been on a latrine since day one. Oh no! Look at the.
Oh.
It looks like a skeleton here. It's
Oh,
like,
I forgot about those. Oh my god.
oh.
Ugh.
What the actual fuck? Like he doesn't draw backgrounds either. That's another thing with him. He doesn't draw
I
backgrounds.
could make better art than this if I was.
This is crazy. It's like two different people. It's like a one really tall woman put on the body of like a tiny woman. It's like,
I could make better art than that if I was drunk and blind.
oh my god, this is so bad. This is so bad. All right, let's keep going here for a second. Oh, okay, SpongeBob. We got Squidward watching Patrick and SpongeBob.
Is there supposed to be text over there?
No, I think it's just he's watching them have fun outside, and he's you know. I've been very vocal about First Steps peaking during its second act, but the visuals Galactus Frost were not the problem. He looks better than anything in Deadpool and Wolverine. That is true. I will agree with that. This is like when musicians I've followed for years come out as just dumb motherfuckers. Sad, but also just shut the fuck up. Damn. They are beating his ass in the quotes. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, haven't seen one person on this full side yet.
Thinking cap. This fucking sucks, actually. Literally coolest thing ever.
Hey, that looks like one of Liefeld's drawings.
Well, the thing is, I think, Joe, did you not like Fantastic Four? You did like Fantastic Four.
I didn't care for the movie, but there was nothing wrong with the special effects. I didn't care for the tone of the movie. I thought it needed more humor. I think it took itself too seriously.
Holy shit, Rob, chill. I know you're mad about Kevin in the MCU. I agree Kevin doesn't know what he's doing, but have faith he'll do right. I hope. Reminder folks, he's been talking smack to Marvel for years. LOL, he's not a bitter old man. He's telling Marvel to suck it. Yeah, you're an idiot. Brother, you did this. You created Deadpool. Always thank you for that, but please shut the fuck up.
Co-created.
Oh my god. Dude, get a life. It's fucking pathetic.
Co-created with Marv Wolfman.
Yeah.
Co-created with Fabian.
Wow, this person coming through with like the heartbreak of the century. No one likes you, dude. You could have said this about any MCU movie released between COVID and 2025, but you choose the one where the VFX are great.
There were plenty in between. There were plenty in the first half of the 20s that had good VFX.
Well, yeah, but I think there are some Marvel movies where they don't have the best VFX, but he picked one that like is pretty consistent through the whole film.
There was one that Little Movie Perp and I were going off on about a year ago when Godzilla -1 came out. There was a meme. I wish I had the meme. I wish you could pull it up, but I don't have it anymore. But there was a meme that was going viral that was like, this is what Godzilla did with, what was their budget? Like 15 million or something?
Yeah.
This is what Godzilla did with 15 million. And this is what Marvel did with whatever they had. And it was a shot of Godzilla.
Wait. Eric, what did you say?
I said he can't draw feet in backgrounds.
Oh. Because I saw your name go by for a second.
But it was a shot of Godzilla versus a shot of MODOK from, what do you call it?
With the stretched out face from Quantumania.
Quantumania.
Yeah.
And Perp and I were like, this is so disingenuous. Like, you can't say that's bad special effects just because it looks goofy. Because in the context of the film, it's supposed to look goofy. Like, everyone in the movie makes fun of how he looks. So it's like, if you're like, this looks dumb, that's bad special effects. It's like, no, it's not bad special effects because the effects artists were told, make this guy look goofy. And they did.
What am I being thanked for, Chris? I didn't do anything. I mean, I'll accept the thanks, but I don't know what I did.
I have to say, even though I mentioned feet, I've seen more of this than anything else in this fucking reply section. Because I mentioned feet in background. I thought everybody's going to say that. And all it is this Captain America picture.
That was one of the funniest jokes in the Deadpool Wolverine movie for me, was the fact that they fell into a store called Liefeld and Feet.
That is true, yeah. All right, we got our second super chat out of 5 over on the Debunks channel with Zap Rouse Dower. Rob Liefeld's version of Deadpool isn't even the popular version people love now. It's the Deadpool that other writers worked on much later. Yes, exactly. True. Yeah,
I still have my copy of New Mutants 98 over there. That Deadpool is very different than the Deadpool you've seen in recent years.
Yeah, the one that we see in recent times, especially like post 2000, is very different from the one that Rob Liefeld worked on.
Because like when Deadpool's humor, it wasn't as vulgar and crass as the movies made it out to be. It's that it was so stupid and ridiculous that was the appeal. Like you would say something outlandish, like, holy chimichangas or something ridiculous like that, just because it was so out of left field or out of life field and made no sense.
God.
Yeah, I know that one was reaching, but it just made no sense. Like it was so ridiculous and outlandish. That's where the appeal kind of came from. And then really in the 2010s to now is when the humor became a lot more crass and vulgar, because everyone want to pretend they want to pretend that Deadpool was always, swearing like a sailor. That's not always the case. Just do a little research.
It's the same as Booster Gold. It's like, yeah, Dan Jurgens created that character. It was Keith Giffen that made that character popular.
Yeah, and the only difference is Deadpool's profitable.
Yeah, why? What's completely unrelated to that? Why do we think what do we think the reason is that Deadpool is so profitable as a character, as an individual character?
I mean,
because he's a derivative character. He's not very unique in any specific way. You know what I mean? His design is reminiscent of like several other characters.
Like, I don't think he was.
He was made to be Marvel's Deathstroke.
Yeah, I don't think he was that popular until the first movie came out. I think it was like right time, right place. It was funny. It was it made people laugh.
I don't think he's edgy. Like, I don't even think that's really.
And again, he wasn't edgy before.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something with the whole Ryan Reynolds Deadpool movie thing, because like that one movie by itself is just a good movie to watch. Like it's just a fun. Like you go back to the first Deadpool, it's a fun movie to watch. I think Deadpool 2 is a little rough in parts. But
look at every time a Deadpool movie came out. Every time a Deadpool movie came out into theaters, it then became the highest earning R-rated movie of all time. Happened with Deadpool 1, happened with Deadpool 2. Deadpool and Wolverine is currently the highest grossing R-rated film.
I actually think that Deadpool kind of falls into the same camp as Spider-Man, is that his costume leans into a lot of variation because the face is covered and you can do a lot of marketing with that. And I think it makes him a very marketable character in that way.
Yeah, and there's that fourth wall break that, granted, not there are a handful of Marvel characters that have it. It's odd that they're reciprocate of it. They're reciprocative. Is that how you say it?
I think it would be reciprocable like that.
Whatever. They receive it well when it comes to Deadpool. That sounded even worse. Jesus Christ. My point is they react well to it whenever it's Deadpool, but whenever you look at a character like She-Hulk, everybody's like, oh, screw this bull. What the hell is this? What am I looking at? Yeah. So a little bit of double standards there.
Yeah. She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall. Everyone complains. Deadpool does it, and it's brilliant.
By the way, I want to add, these are pictures of Ralph actually in the suit for people that didn't know that he was actually acting out most of the parts here.
Yep.
That's him sitting there in the suit. And then here's him next to the team. And there's him in the chair. So, calling this bad VFX is really fucking weird.
Also, fun fact, because we were talking about Deadpool a second ago, this year actually marks 20 years since Deadpool first appeared in a video game. Because his first game appearance was the second X-Men Legends game. Voiced by John Kassir, who played the Atom in that JLA pilot.
Who was that?
Crypt Keeper.
John Kassir.
Oh, right. Oh, the JLA, the TV pilot?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, he played the Atom in that pilot.
The one with David Ogden Stier as his Martian Manhunter.
Do you know who played a fire in that pilot?
No, I don't remember.
Michelle Hurd, Raffi from Picard.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, you're right. Now I see it in my head. I'm like, wait a minute, that's true.
By the way, she is super nice. I met her at Dragon Con a couple of years ago. Really sweet.
Wait, hold on. Someone sent this over. Let's share this tab instead. Scarlett Johansson is starring a new Exorcist movie from Blumhouse.
Yep, saw that.
Is it
the sequel, or was it Exorcist?
I was gonna say.
What was Exorcist? It was Believer the last one. This was, I don't know. There was supposed to be a trilogy.
Let's see here. The new radical take on the upcoming Exorcist film Blumhouse, the Tom Monsters Not Messing Around with deadlines, learned that the two-time Oscar winner Scarlett Johansson is set to star in the next installment
Nominee,
of the
not
iconic-
winner.
So, yeah, she could be a winner in my mind. Scarlett is a brilliant actress whose captivating performance always feels grounded and real, from genre films to summer blockbusters. I couldn't be happier to have her join this Exorcist film. Let's see.
You know, people
Exorcist
got-
Believer. That's the one you were talking about, Joe.
Yeah, people were harsh on Believer. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't great, but you know,
What
wasn't-
time of the year
wasn't
did
a-
it come out? Was it an early year release, like a January,
I
February?
don't
release?
remember.
On.
Wait, did it say July? Did it say July of 2021? Oh no, that's when they bought the rights. That's not.
It
when
was
the movie came
2023
out.
when that
Okay.
came out. Yeah.
October.
Oh, so it came out during Halloween and it still underperformed?
Yeah.
Wow. So the film will tell an all-new story set in the Exorcist universe. It's not a sequel to The Exorcist Believer. So it's just an existing story in the universe. I
Maybe
don't-
Exorcist shouldn't be a franchise.
I was going to say the same thing. I don't know, like what are we doing with Exorcist, honestly?
You know what wasn't half bad? The Fox TV series
never
where
saw
where Gina Davis played the grown-up Reagan in it.
I never saw
was-
that. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, I think it was 2 seasons. It wasn't that bad. I think it was better than most of the movies, quite frankly.
Let's see here. Am I up to date with Welcome to Derry? I haven't watched this week's episode, the one from yesterday.
I'm bailing on Welcome to Derry. I'm finding it
particular
so
reason?
dull.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I will say this. The issue that we have with it is it's so incredibly gross that we find that we're literally not wanting to watch the screen. I think the last couple episodes, there's been scenes in it where, we're sitting on the couch and it's like, we can't even eat and watch the show. We have to just watch it while we sit there, and it's not a good viewing experience in that regard for us. We get easily grossed out by stuff like that. But you're right about Exorcist. I don't know if it needs to be like an IP, a franchise, or anything like that.
Everyone agrees the original's a classic, and pretty much everyone agrees the third one's really good. I don't think anyone loves any of the others.
Don't even love the third one.
So the Gina Davis one was on when did that come on?
It was I want to say like 20. Oh geez, within the last 10 years. Probably between 2015 and 2018, somewhere around there.
Right. Interesting. Chris says the Exorcist should have stayed one film. Yeah.
2016 to 18.
So I think The Conjuring had more space on the road, in my opinion, than The Exorcist. Like the original Exorcist, to me, felt like a self-contained story that didn't really need to go anywhere else. To be honest,
I'll give him the third one too, because the third one was the actual novel sequel. Like the Exorcist 3 is really the Exorcist 2. It's the Exorcist 2 that William Peter Blatty wrote in the novel, and then Warner Brothers didn't want to go that route, and then finally they were like, "Fine, make your movie."
was there any other stories after that one, or is that the last one?
That's the last one he wrote.
Oh, okay.
But then they made Exorcist. They made a prequel. What was that? Exorcist 4, like I forget what it was called, like the beginning or something, or Exorcist, or I don't know. They made a prequel, and
this is interesting. James Cameron doesn't think Netflix films should qualify for the Oscars. He says Netflix buying Warner Brothers would be a disaster, and it's a sucker bait to think they will commit to full theatrical releases. I don't disagree with that particularly. I think that could be argued. We will put the movie out for a week. We will qualify for the Academy Awards. I think that's fundamentally rotten at its core. The Oscars mean nothing to me if it doesn't mean theatrical. Netflix should be allowed to compete if they put the movie out for a meaningful release in 2,000 theaters for a month. Thoughts on this?
I honestly think. Look, I don't want Netflix to get Warner Brothers. I do not want Netflix to get Warner Brothers, but I am starting to think that Warner Brothers is their Trojan horse.
Uh-huh.
They've made such a big deal out of how they don't want to be theatrical. But K-pop Demon Hunters alone is showing that there's money in theaters.
Yeah.
So I think that Warner Brothers might be their way of saving face. Like, oh, well, we'll put the Warner Brothers movies in theaters, but like, you know what I mean? It's like it's their way of sneaking in without admitting that their model was failing.
Any thoughts on this, Jake, at all?
It's a give and take. I mean, I agree with this point about, I get being the sucker bait to think they'll commit full theatrical releases. I see that part, but I also think it just depends on what you're putting out there. Like, see what the reception is to see if it could warrant a theatrical release. Because some of that stuff that they'll put out there, no one will go to see it in a theater because they have the option of seeing it in the comfort of their own home.
You know what's funny is
you've got to make the theater experience appealing when the alternative is free.
You know what's weird? 2 of my favorite movies from this year are Netflix movies. K-pop Demon Hunters and Frankenstein.
Haven't seen the first of those.
I'm going to see a Netflix movie in the theater tomorrow.
What are you seeing?
Wake Up Dead Man.
That we talked about Ryan Johnson earlier, so
I am so excited. I love the Benoit Blanc movies. I can't wait to see this.
Okay, wait, hold on. I gotta pull this up for Hassan right here. Is it true that Saudi Arabia are restoring the Snyder DC? No, Hassan. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you because I'm making fun of you, but no, they're like, I don't see any world where they could get those contracts back and make that work.
Hassan, the Saudis really want to restore the Whedonverse. That's the goal. Restore the Whedonverse.
Yeah, I don't think so. I see a lot of people talking about it, but yeah, I don't think that's the case. To be honest, there's so much controversy around some of the people connected to the Snyderverse. I don't even know if they could get through with all that. Like getting Ezra back after that Flash debacle and Gal Gadot with everything that's going on.
Leto.
Jared Leto. Yeah, I don't know.
I really think, look, Ezra Miller's unhireable. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
He's unhireable. But I think that Gal Gadot's getting a raw deal. Like, people are coming down on her just because she's Israeli. And it's like...
Yeah, I've heard a lot of comments about that.
It's like, she's not the government. She's not the one making decisions. And then they're like, well, she served in the army. It's like, yeah, but by law, everyone has to. It's not like she had a choice. Like if you're an Israeli citizen, you have to serve. Like, that's the law. So it's like, you're going to come after her because you don't like what her government's doing?
Really
Those fans can say whatever they want to happen.
Yeah.
They have to face the reality of the fact that Ben Affleck has no desire to put on a superhero costume.
And
ever again.
Henry Cavill's not going to come back.
Henry Cavill's done. Damn well Ray Fisher's not coming back because of all the shit that
Jason Momoa's in the
Momoa's in
Gunverse,
DCU now.
Mm-hmm.
Miller is full of controversies. Amy Adams has done moved on. Ray Porter has done moved on. Everybody, this is the thing that really pisses me off. People complain constantly, like whenever they see, over the last week or so, if you've looked at Zack Snyder's threads or his Instagram, the pictures from his DC stuff that he's posting images from shit that he works on. People are saying, oh man, move on, Snyderverse is done. The only people that aren't moving on are you ignorant assholes online that are complaining about it. He's moved on. He's shooting the last photograph right now. The only ones that aren't moving on are you guys.
I do think he's stirring the pot. Like he likes to get his base riled up. I think he enjoys doing that.
They're doing that all on their own.
They are, but he knows they're going to do that because they do it every time.
Well, that's not his fault. That's theirs.
I don't know. I've never heard him tell them to stop. I've never heard him say, when they go after other filmmakers, I've never heard him come out and say, like, hey guys, come on.
If you tell somebody on the internet to stop, you really think they're going to listen?
I think you could try.
That's true. You could try. Let's see here. All right, where are we at on the super chats? Because I got a couple more things here. In the Reloaded channel, we are 1 out of 5. I don't know if it's because people don't like the choices or because people are tight for the holiday. I'm not sure which one it is because we have Thanksgiving coming up, so I get it. We might not reach the goal. We got 42 minutes left on the clock. And again, it will be the first time we don't hit the goal since 2024. So
I got to disagree with Randall in the chat. Randall6060 says the theatrical experience has declined to the point where it's not worth the money. I disagree. I just got back from the theater. I just saw Begonia. It was a great time. I'm going to the movies at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning to see Rental Family. And then I'm going back to the movies at 7 p.m. tomorrow to see Wake Up Dead Man. And then I'm going back to see Wake Up Dead Man again the next day because my daughter's babysitting my youngest daughter. So my wife and I could get out, but she wants to see it. So I got to take her to see it on Wednesday.
busy movie going experience there.
And then Friday I got tickets for Gremlins because they're showing Gremlins.
I would love to see that again in theaters. We did get a $5 super chat from Columbia Rican chiming in on the Gal Gadot stuff. I disagree with Joe. Gadot actually defended the genocide. To me, that's a no-no. Sorry, that is disgusting. I was going to say I don't know what she's actually said, so I'm not going to For me personally, I don't feel like I'm going to chime in because I don't really know what comment she's made, and I'm pretty sure she's given a lot of interviews over the years. So, and let me clarify if I'm discussing the Gal Gadot defending the genocide. So, yeah, wait, isn't that what she said here? Wait, let me clarify if it is defending the genocide. I'm sorry, Columbia Rican. I kind of got that from your super chat, so I didn't know I didn't know if you were trying to clear something up that maybe I misunderstood. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I do know that because of her connection to the military and stuff like that, that to me, I don't think they would ever hire her again to work as Wonder Woman. I just don't see. I actually think that's probably why they stopped working with her.
I think she was a shoo-in to come back as Wonder Woman until recently. I think because the public has turned on her so much, but I think like James Gunn, if you follow the breadcrumbs, it looked like James Gunn was going to bring her back. Statements he made, statements she made.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like she's kind of like the controversy around her is similar to some of the other actors. Like I think there's enough people that wouldn't support her either because they know what she's done and they're not going to support her there, and the bad press on social media. The DCEU had a lot of people with what I felt like a lot of baggage of issues. The only person I know that was kind of unscathed was Jason Momoa. People just seemed to like him, I didn't hear a lot of negative stuff about him.
I don't know that Cavill or Affleck really had baggage. I know like Affleck didn't want to do it. He made that clear. But...
That's fair, but I think some people also thought that he gave the vibe like something was wrong because there was all these pictures shared of him sort of like crashing out and stuff.
His life was a
like that.
roller coaster for that.
The sad Affleck meme.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
And as far as Cavill goes, I think Cavill's baggage was the weird cult of Cavill, I guess. Like the people who just insisted that he was the only option for Superman. And I don't think that the DCU would have benefited from bringing him back.
I mean, I'll go ahead and say this, Eric, as one of your things that you've brought up in the past about, mention or like what are like the problems with like DC and DCEU. Mm-hmm. I'll just say this: infuriating their talent was one of their biggest mistakes.
Oh, fair enough.
As much as I hate the Fandom Menace guys, and boy do I hate them, and I hate to give them an inch, but one thing I got to give them is I do love the nickname they gave Ray Fisher, Cryborg.
Oh, that is the Ray Fisher saga that happened around that time. I think we covered it. Anybody in the chat that has been watching the streams since then knows that I think we covered it every week for like 5 months because it was more to come, more later. I'll bring the receipts later. It was like
and he still hasn't. Still hasn't.
Yeah. So it was one of those never ending like carrots on a pole in front of us.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't think there was any world where he was ever going to work with them again in any way. So, Walter Hamada, all this stuff, it's just a bunch of stuff there.
That's what really pissed me off about Ray Fisher when he went after Walter Hamada. I got so angry at that because I'm like, okay, you want to go after Joss Whedon, who was there, who was on set. Okay. But you're going to go after the guy who hadn't been hired yet, who wasn't hired until that movie came out and was released to the public. He wasn't there. Like, what is your beef with the guy who walked in the door after the fact?
Right. Yeah, that was one of the issues that people had with it. Let's see here. So we are now, wow, we're 3 out of 5 super chats on the Debunks channel, and we're still 1 out of 5 on the Reloaded channel. So the Debunks channel is winning out right now. All right, we're gonna do something different.
Oh no.
I'm gonna bring out the Wheel of Doom.
Oh no.
All right. This is going to be fun because since there's only 2 people, not counting myself, my limit on doing top 5 list is I have to have 3 guests. That's the way I always do it. Since we only have 2, we're going to do the Wheel of Doom. This is a new game that I literally just created. And chat, let us know what you think of this. We're going to spin the wheel, and then we will go down the line and answer the question.
What the fuck are those questions?
We're going to answer the question in order. So if you decline, it's fine. I'm not going to force anyone to answer, but I think the chat would think of you very differently if you don't answer the question. So let's Pagey can't be here on weeknights. He has a legit job, like daytime job. And unfortunately it's like middle of the day for him right now. So let's spin the Wheel of Doom. I will do the first one. So you guys get an idea of what these questions are. Some of them are really crazy. Oh, this is easy. Zack Snyder. I think Zack Snyder's a great visual director, but I think he's a bad director in every other situation.
I'd watch Zack Snyder over Michael Bay, lock, stock, and barrel.
I don't know. I feel like Michael Bay's had some stuff that I've enjoyed back in the 90s, but
Wait a minute. Hold the phone here. Everybody, are you seated?
Yeah.
I agree with Jake.
Oh, Michael Bay. All right.
I don't like
Fair
either,
enough.
but
I mean, what's his name? Yui Bowl or whatever that guy's name is. He's probably the worst one, but
he's fun though. Like he's
Yeah.
so bad it's good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Tommy
All right.
Wiseau was another one.
Yeah. Well, Tommy Wiseau is also another so bad it's good thing, I think, for sure. All right, Jake, so it's time to spin for you.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, gosh. I mean, this isn't tough. There's got to be someone you think is hot.
No, there are definitely some there.
Just one. It's just one. You mean you can do more if you want, but
I'll go with Katie Lotz.
from fucking Arrowverse, that Katie Lotz?
Yeah.
The singer girl group Katie Lotz?
Good old
wasn't- yeah,
good old
she's
Sarah Lance, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I don't really have anything particular to add. Joe, did you want to drop a name or no?
Well, I was just watching one of my favorites yesterday. I was watching Now You See Me Too. I love Lizzie Kaplan.
Oh, okay. There we go. Speaking of it, it's time for Joe to answer the first here. So see what you get. Sydney Sweetie from Hunter.
I don't think
Oh
Sydney
God,
Sweeney's
he's
the
gonna
one
get
I'm
this is the one question that was auto-generated.
What body part do you hate the most?
Literally,
I don't know.
literally, like I did a thing where it's like generate questions or whatever to use, and this was the one that was auto-generated that I kept.
I have no idea. I never sat around thinking like, God damn, the spleen sucks.
I do know that you're having an issue with one of your body parts right now.
Yeah, well, my knee's been giving me trouble. I'm not too
yeah.
happy with my knee right now.
Right.
Okay, you know what? I have an issue with my ass. I do have an issue with my ass, and because in my wife's words, I'll put it in my wife's words, I don't have one.
Oh, so a case of no ass at all, or
So,
whatever.
so you see, like, basically, my pants are always drooping, and you could see my little friend who we've nicknamed Sir Dapper Ass. And the reason is my wife says you have no ass, so there's nothing for your pants to clench onto in the back,
Right.
and that's why they droop. So.
Okay. Well, there we go. Fair one. Look, same Joe from Maestro. So there are other people who suffer from the same condition.
Yeah, and the reason we call him Sir Dapper Ass is because my wife thought it was funny to take a picture of me when I was bent over once, and then she texted it to me, and I added googly eyes and a monocle and a mustache.
Yeah. So I originally did a thing. I said, give me like 10 fun questions, and that was one of them that I kept. The other ones I deleted. It was Google. I just went to Google and said, give me 10 fun questions to put on a wheel. And I thought I got all of them, but not that one. All right. My turn. I don't know what this one is. What is this? What franchise needs to die and why? Oh, I mean, there's a lot that I could probably put out there. Franchise. I mean, are 2 movies considered a franchise, or what would you guys say? Like, does it have to be something with like planned projects constantly? Is that what we consider a franchise, or like, how do we classify this?
I'd say as soon as you get to a second one, it's a franchise.
Okay, I don't know what the literal definition is, but yeah. There's so many answers in the chat. Harry Potter, Rebel Moon, Fast and Furious. Are they doing another one of those? I think they are, right?
2 more.
Yeah.
Toy Story is another one.
You know, I would probably say, God, you know, one that's gone downhill for me. I'm going to see if you guys can guess it. It's a horror movie that has like a really strong found footage original film, and then it just got progressively worse after.
Oh, Blair Witch?
No, but close.
I was going to say Blair Witch wasn't even good.
No. This is a more recent one.
Oh, Black Phone?
No.
I'm
Found
kidding.
footage.
I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Paranormal Activity?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that already went away, though.
Oh, did it?
They,
Okay.
well, they haven't made one in several years, I don't think.
Yeah, that one to me like got progressively worse. I think there was one decent one in the middle there, but overall I did not like most of those. I would probably say if we're not doing that one, then God, why am I blanking on the name of it? The one with the jigsaw.
Saw?
Yeah, that
I
one.
don't know. The last one was one of the best.
Well, I haven't seen the last one, so I
Oh
can't
my
really
God,
comment on
Saw
that.
10 is insanely good. Even the critics liked it, and they hate that franchise.
Yeah.
When 1, 2, and 10 are fine, but 3 through 9 are shit, that's not good.
All right, Jake, let's see where the Wheel of Doom takes you. What are you gonna get?
Oh, God.
Name a canceled actor you would bring back. I can think of one that's a safe answer, but we'll let you do it.
What's it start with? Because I'm wondering if I
H.
think... H. Okay, I was thinking of someone different.
Okay. I'll tell you mine after you give yours, but I'll let you go first.
I mean, this one's... has kind of been canceled. Not for, like, the worst reasons, but okay, yeah. H, I know who you're thinking now.
Yeah. Hartley Sawyer from the Arrowverse.
Yeah, well,
I think he should be given a chance to see if he's a changed person or not.
Mine was another Arrowverse actor.
Which one?
I was gonna say John Barrowman.
Oh, John Barrowman. Has he really been canceled?
Not like for that.
I mean, I know he's kind of like edgy and stuff. I didn't know he was like totally canceled.
I mean, I think it was one of those quietly canceled ones because like just from being problematic on set, from what I've heard. But I think there was definitely some light to be shed on the the podcast that he did with Michael. That was definitely not the most problematic podcast.
Oh, so you think Allison Mack should be brought back as a canceled actor?
I didn't say that.
Just kidding. Joe, what about you? Do you have anybody you want to mention or no?
Does it have to be an actor?
I guess not.
Joss
Anybody?
Whedon.
Oh, director. Okay. All right. Well, speaking of that, let's see what Joe gets on the Wheel of Doom here. Will we get to see the end of the DCU? Like, is it going to get cut short, or will we actually get to the end of it?
Well, I mean, I don't believe any franchise ever has a definitive ending. There's always going to be a next one. So I guarantee we'll see the end of the DCU. Whether it's next year or 10 years from now or 20 years from now, eventually there will be an end.
There we go. Jake, do you think we're going to get to see it or no?
We'll see.
Too early to tell. All right. We got 3 left, so let me see what I got here. I don't know what's left on the board, to be honest. Oh, of course. Of course this one. Of course this one.
I'm kind of glad you got that one because I didn't want that one.
Who wins, Superman or Sentry? So we're going to go with the current movie iterations of these characters is what I'm going to go with. Right? Based on the current Superman we have and how insanely powerful Sentry is, I would say, in my opinion, I think Sentry wins currently.
Yeah. Not even close.
Yeah, I think that Sentry is too OP at the moment, right? Chat's kind of agreeing with me there. Does anybody disagree with me at all? Because I think Sentry's got a couple of core powers that would make it really hard for Superman to win.
I would honestly say the last movie, Superman, would also fall very easily to Sentry.
I'm going to say Superman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's Superman.
Superman escaped a black hole, according to Hash Brown. Eric says there's no debate, but apparently there is because we have different answers now, Eric.
Remember when Superman fought the Hulk? He beat him back into Banner.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see. All right, Jake, let's see what you get.
Oh, God.
What? Oh, name a movie you would delete from existence. And the ramifications of that as well. So you remember, if you delete the movie, every subsequent reaction that would come from that counts. So if you delete the beginning of a trilogy, then it deletes all the trilogy films.
Well, I mean, I could just. Okay, no, that says delete from existence. By the way, it spelled existence wrong.
I didn't spell that. I just copy and paste
it. I mean, because I always see the thing where it says like what's one that you would delete from your memory.
Right.
And to that one, I always say, well, none, because if I delete it from my memory, I'll forget it's bad and I'll watch it again.
Oh, Dalton says Love and Thunder.
I'm gonna go with one of my least favorite films ever. It's a standalone film. I would be surprised if no one here has heard of it. I'm gonna go with a 2009 film called Dogtooth. I absolutely despise that film.
I don't think I've ever heard of that or seen it.
I would spare yourself.
Joe, do you have a movie you would delete? Anything you think?
Well, I'm tempted to say Crispin Glover's film What Is It? But no. But no, because that film, as bad as it was, it hasn't caused that much damage to the world at large. I'm going to say the Snyder Cut.
And you know what? I'm rebuttaling back on that because I'll give an actual answer that people will know. I'll say Justice League.
Oh, so we have the deletion of the Justice League and we have the deletion of the Snyder Cut there. So we would have no Justice League movie then, according to the two of you. It'd just be gone. All of it erased from existence forever.
The Whedon Cut will live in my heart forever.
What would I delete from existence? I don't know. I think that a movie that would change culture but not affect the franchise would be the 2016 Ghostbusters movie. Like, there was so much outrage content created around that movie that led to where we are now. But if that movie was just deleted from existence, it would just be...
Hassan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hassan. Ooh.
Right. Oh. What did Hassan say?
Said he checked Dogtooth on IMDb.
Oh, all right. So I don't know what this says, but let's go ahead and spin it.
Terrible.
This is Joe's. I don't know what it is. What is one thing that annoys you about TV in 2025?
Gee, I don't know. That's tough. Well, this isn't just 2025 specific, but I'm very tired in recent years of the trend of shows ending their season on a cliffhanger when they don't know for sure that they're coming back for another season.
That's fair. I agree with that. Let's see what some of the chat is saying.
Night Court, the revival of Night Court got canceled. Did you know that?
I heard about that.
It ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Lack of content on network television, short seasons. They don't do 20 plus episodes anymore. Full seasons drop on one day.
I honestly think shorter seasons are better than like the 20 episode seasons. If you're talking episodes of network TV, like 40-minute to 50-minute episodes, I think around 10 to 15 is better than 20 plus.
Let's see. Hassan says too many breaks between seasons. Short Car says, I'm allowed to say the toxic fandom culture that surrounds it? Absolutely, you can say that.
It's not exclusive to 2025.
Well, that was the end of the Wheel of Doom. I only put enough on there for all of us to get through a couple rounds of it.
I also like the shorter seasons. I think we get better television.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's like as the kids say, all killer, no filler.
All right, so let me read off.
Say that?
Yeah, they do say that, I think sometimes. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you still get shows like Titans.
So, all right, let me read off what the choices are in the chat one more time in case anybody does want to super chat before the end. And remember, if you do super chat, it contributes to your top fan score, which also puts you in the ranking for the contest if anybody's interested. So over here on the Reloaded channel, we still need 4 out of 5 super chats with around 20 minutes left. But if it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, we'll just wrap things up early. But we have top 5. These are the options. Top 5 worst TV shows of all time. Top 5 worst movies before the 2000s. So anything 1999 and under. Top 5 best actors of all time. And top 5 best motion capture performances. So those are the options. I put the mocap back in there because it didn't win last time. So if anybody's interested in contributing to the goal, we have 50 votes on that now. We need 4 super chats in the teal category over there. On the Debunks channel, though, we're 3 out of 5. And you guys get to pick a bonus reaction video. I'll do 2 videos in a day, and I'll tack on one of these as a bonus video. Mr. H Reviews has been highly requested. Matter of fact, he's winning right now on the list. The Critical Drinker as a bonus video. And Nerdrotic there as a bonus video. And Ranting for Vengeance as well. So there we go. Let's see here. Staggervore came through with the 99-cent super chat. That puts us at 5 super chats on the Reloaded channel now. So we did reach the goal. Because I remember I hit the wrong thing for super. Remember we talked about this, Jake, and I was confused. I'm like, why is it not counting?
Yeah.
I hit the wrong thing. So that makes it 5 for the Reloaded channel. So even though the confetti is not falling from the sky, we have reached the goal. Keep mistaking that. The Debunks channel, we still need 2. Where we are 3 out of 5 over there. So we'll see if we hit the goal. So we did it. We hit, even though there's no confetti, we hit the goal for the night. On the Reloaded channel. So that's good. So, matter of fact, let's go ahead and see what everybody picked. What is the top 5 bonus now that we've hit the goal? In the poll there, see what we got. Yeah, invisible confetti, Fetman. Top 5 worst TV shows of all time. So, here we go.
I'm gonna piss some people off.
I'm trying to keep my mouth shut right now because I almost blurted out.
All right. You know what we're gonna do if anybody's gonna be around during the Game Awards, if we can get 3 people on here at one time while the Game Awards is on and there's something that we don't want to watch, we can mute it and just do our list. That might be a good time to knock out some of the lists for people that are going to join during the Game Awards. We'll see. So I went ahead and put that on there. Thank you, Staggervore, for the 99-cent super chat. Closing that out.
Thursday the 11th. What time?
You know what? You know what show is impressive when we talk about short seasons? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There isn't a single season of It's Always Sunny that has more than 15 episodes, and most have less. Most are like 10 or less. And they've been on so long, they've still managed to rack up 178 episodes.
I didn't know that.
Which with those short seasons.
Yeah. I am not gonna confirm any of the TV shows being mentioned in chat right now, because I do believe this is going to be a good list. There's literally unlimited resources to pull from when we're talking about the worst TV shows of all time. I feel like there's so many ways you can go. You can go all the way back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Like, it's just so much stuff you can pull from, for sure. Let's see here. All right. If anybody wants to donate, we have 17 minutes left on the Debunks channel to get 2 more super chats, light blue super chats, which I believe that one is the right one, which is like $2 or higher. So if anybody wants to do that, 2 more, we'll knock it out over there. I did see that Twilight of the Gods has been canceled on Netflix.
Sad.
That was one of the best things Zack Snyder has done.
That's an amazing show.
I believe Netflix is just out of the Zack Snyder business after Rebel Moon.
Yeah. How much money did they lose? I wonder.
Well, which is what makes it so funny that people thought Netflix was going to restore the Snyderverse. It's like Netflix was parting ways with Snyder before any of this.
You know what? Saying that, Joe, I didn't even connect the dots on that, but you were absolutely fucking right. That's crazy. Yeah, no more Snyder shit on Netflix, apparently. No more zombie stuff, no more superhero stuff, no more sci-fi stuff. I think it's all gone. Netflix canceled something. I never saw that coming. Yeah. I'm going to pull up a political comment only because I will say something about it, but I don't want it to turn into like a full-on political stream. But Extra Hero says, did anybody have Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning on their bingo card? Excuse me, I had to sneeze. No, but she's not going to be the last one. I do believe we're going to see more people resign between now and the end of the year. At least that's what the word is on the street right now,
including the president.
Maybe, but yeah. So no, I don't have a favorable opinion of Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, at all. The very few things she's ever said that I've been like co-signing on or whatever. But having a fracture in the current administration that might lead to less bad shit from happening is always welcome, in my opinion. So there we go. Columbia Rican sent 2 $2 super stickers, which brings us to our goal on the Debunks channel. No confetti, but we have a fox giving me a like I think it's a thumbs up or something, and a GG good game controller super sticker, who always GGing on Final Fantasy 14, 100%. So we did reach the goal on both channels. You guys came in clutch at the end. I do appreciate it. And, you guys are amazing. Staggervore contributing over here with a $4.99 super chat and a channel member. Eric, here's a top 5 topic you can put in the poll for future top 5 canceled TV shows you would revive. Oh my God. That's a good one. I'm putting that in my notes right now.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's a really good one. All right.
Hell, I'll throw another one out there if you want. Like,
Yeah,
that's
go ahead.
kind of
I'm making a list right now.
That's kind of in that same vein. Top 5 shows with only 1 season.
Oh. That's a good one too. If anybody else wants to super chat any suggestions, I'll put them in the poll.
My two that I put in last week about like one is the wasted potential one, and then like one is the standout scenes one.
Yeah,
I'm hoping those can win.
we'll see. We will see. Stargate. I'm so excited. By the way, I know we didn't talk about it. I don't think we talked about it in detail. But there's a new Stargate show coming out, and I can't be more excited. It was one of my favorite sci-fi TV shows, especially Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe.
I never liked SG-1,
It wasn't
but
my favorite.
I do like Atlantis a lot, though.
Yeah. I liked Universe, but I think Universe was ahead of its time. It was like a mix of Battlestar Galactica and Stargate, and I don't think that the general public was ready for it. I think if that show came out today, it would be much better received, honestly.
You know, my wife and I were actually watching Stargate Atlantis earlier tonight. She never watched the show. We're like actually moving into season 2, and going back, you know, to the spin the wheel questions. You said actresses or actors or actresses you think are hot. I never heard back in the day when Stargate Atlantis was on. You know, they used to always do lists of like the, you know, hottest babes in sci-fi, and you'd have 7 of 9 on there, and you know, things like that. I never heard anyone talk about Tori Higginson, and I always thought she was really, really attractive.
I forgot, Jake, that we have that top 5 like goon list or whatever that I made a while back.
Yeah.
What was it actually called? I forget now.
Like, I try to dissociate that. It's like goon-worthy characters or something.
Yeah. We have to do that at some point.
No, we don't. Because
I
that
think
gives me.
Wasn't it comic book characters or something? I think it was like specifically something else.
I think so, but you know what ushered that placement, and I don't want to do anything related to that.
Wait, does anybody in the chat remember what that was? What that goal was? Or should I just like do a bonus like freebie to replace that one? It was the top 5 most goonable DC characters. That's what it was.
I'm gonna
Chat, should we still do it or nah? I'm just curious what the chat thinks. I'm not saying that this is going to determine whether I'm going to do it or not. I'm just saying what the chat thinks. Should we still do it, or should I create another poll, a bonus poll one day to like fill in the space? Look, people like.
Of course.
Joe, do you know what goonable means? Because this is one of those like young people.
Yeah, it means a hardcore fan of the Goonies.
Oh, okay, there we go.
So the answer is most goonable would be Chunk, and then Corey Feldman, and then Sean Astin, of course. Sloth.
Oh no. Okay. Well,
Data.
Is it Goon really cheap wine? Hold on, right here. Yeah. I didn't know. I've never heard that before. Is that a real thing? Gooning is wine? I don't think I've ever heard that. Maybe I'm out of the loop. All right, let's see which bonus video you guys want me to do as a separate video from my normal daily video. You want me to look at Mr. H reviews.
It's a brand of wine. It's called GOON.
Oh, okay. I don't know a ton about Mr. H reviews, so I will take a look at his channel. Is anybody familiar with Mr. H reviews?
I've seen him. He seems like an a-hole.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably why people have suggested. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, Stargate Universe actually finished in a comic book. They wrapped up the show in a comic book. I think it was like 5 issues or something.
They're also coming back with another Heroes revival.
No,
Now that
please,
I've been begging for.
No.
The first season of Original Heroes is the only good season of that entire IP.
I disagree. I love season 4. I think is the best season. I love season 4.
Okay, so Siler and Peter. up until season 2, I thought their powers were really cool. Right?
Siler was great in the first season.
Like the idea that Siler, his power was being able to like dissect something and then learn how it works, and that's how he was capable of like getting access to powers. And Peter, who I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but in season 1, he could only take a power if he was within a certain proximity to it, right? Isn't that how that worked? Or did
Been
he just
a while.
hold on, let me see exactly how his powers work, because I know they changed it in later seasons. Let me check here. At one point, he could bank one power at a time, but then there was another point where he would just gain powers when he was close to them.
See, I've been saying for years that they should do another season of Heroes, but combine it with the TV show Alphas, because both shows were owned by NBC Universal, and both shows were about a group of people with superheroes. And Alphas also ended on a cliffhanger that never was resolved. And I'm like, you could put them together in one universe.
Yeah, his powers worked by copying them via proximity. And there was no permanent retention at first. And then, I believe, later on, he would copy a power, and then he would keep that power until he copied another power. So, like, if he learned fire abilities, and then the next thing he came in contact with was, like, flying, he would lose the ability to create fire, and then he would fly. Because I think they did that to take away how OP he was.
Season 1 of Heroes was amazing. Season 2 really fell down, and then Reborn was just a massive letdown through and through.
Season 2 was actually really good, but they got the rug pulled out from under them by the writer's strike.
Yeah, the writer's strike.
Like they never finished it. Like that was the problem. Yeah. It was like it was solid, but they never got a conclusion. And then season 3, they were just off the rails because of that writer. Like season 3 was not good.
Yeah. Wait.
But the tragedy of Heroes is that everybody abandoned the show in season 3 because it got really bad. But in season 4, they got their shit together, and they turned out one of the best seasons. But it was too late; the audience was already gone.
Okay, so it's like Peter Petrelli's powers changed quite drastically. Seasons 2 and 3, he could retain his powers for longer periods, and at a certain point, he could use multiple powers simultaneously. But the more powers he copied at once, the more strain it put on his body. And by season 3, he was locked out of powers if he absorbed too many too quickly. So he had some control over it. And then in season 4, he gained much more control over his abilities he could copy. He could consciously select powers rather than relying on proximity or emotion, meaning that whatever Rolodex, I'm dating myself by saying that, whatever Rolodex of powers he had, he could just select one out of it. So, I don't know. I thought Siler was really cool. Then weren't they related at one point? They thought they were brothers or something. Didn't that happen in season 2? Or
that I don't remember.
Don't remember. It's been a while.
God, I want to go back and watch it, but I kind of don't. Like, there's a show from that era that I do like, which is Fringe. I think Fringe is one of the best TV shows.
Oh yeah, Fringe is fantastic.
Did you watch Alphas?
Yes.
Because Alphas, that show took place in the Eurekaverse.
It got canceled though.
It got canceled in season 2 with a cliffhanger, but both shows, like I said, Heroes and Alphas were both owned by NBC Universal, and they were both about superpowered individuals. So I was like, you can just say these were in the same world and do one revival that brings all those characters back and revives or ties up some of those loose ends.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so we're coming up on the 3-hour mark. Let's see where everybody's at in terms of the leaderboards. We're going to do the Debunks channel first. We have in the top 3 Columbia Rican, Zapped Rouse, and the Maestro. Since Columbia Rican's in first place, that gives him 2 more spots into the contest, which puts him at 10 spots. Maestro is getting another one, so puts him at another 1 there on that channel as well. And Zap Pow. I think it's Zap. Hold on, let me look. Zap Rouse. I don't know how to say it. Sorry, Rouse is on there as well. So
You kept saying Zaphros. I just kept thinking Azarath.
So thanks everybody that participated. If you want to participate, it doesn't require any sort of like, you don't have to spend anything. You can just chat and be very active and you will end up on that list. Over on the Reloaded channel, we have Staggervore at number 1, Jason and Harrison in there. So let's go ahead and get their names in. Staggervore is now entered in 3 times. Jason is... Have you been on here before, Jason? I don't think so. Jason, you were on the list. And Harrison is on here 2 times now. So there we go. There we go. Thank you guys so much for continuing to play the contest. I do appreciate it. Again, we have... Where are we at on shows left? So we have 1 more show left, which is on this Thursday for Thanksgiving to participate. After that, we will do a drawing, and then I will be ordering the product that the person wants. I will reveal again the bonus items on Thursday. So if you want to see the 2 bonus items that I will be sending out to a lucky contest contributor, you'll see that on Thursday. So Warehouse 13 is another good one. I love that show. That was so good.
I interviewed a couple cast members from Warehouse 13 on the old podcast, Allison Scagliotti and Aaron Ashmore.
Okay.
Smallville star Aaron Ashmore.
All right. With that being said, though, I think we're going to... Is that everything? I think we're going to wrap everything up. If you guys didn't watch on the Debunks channel, there is a almost 2-hour video of me doing a part 1 reaction to the EFAP of my video. It's one half of it because it's a 4-hour stream. So I have to cut it up into portions. So it's one half of that. It's on my channel now. I know it's a long watch, but if you want something else to listen to while you're playing a video game or just kind of hanging out, that's a good video to check out. It's a longer one, like I said. So go check that out. I want to thank Ronan for being here. He had to run, but he was here for a little while at the beginning. So thanks, Ronan, for being here. I want to thank Jake for hanging out with me on the stream, for being here. Check out Jake's channel, Joypad Jake. What was? How did I say it wrong last time? It was something. It wasn't Joypad Jake. I said.
I don't know. I think you butchered it a couple times.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Anyway, he does have a live stream every Sunday at 7 p.m., not 7 a.m.
Nope.
7 p.m. And he's got video content coming out, so go and check him out there. Also, we have Joe from Crazy Joe's Concession Stand who stopped in after he went to the movie, so good to see you. Go check out Joe's channel. What's your most recent review, Joe? I know you've a couple about.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was Wicked?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Probably Wicked. I'll probably have a review up of Begonia tomorrow, and gonna have a Wake Up Dead Man coming.
Yeah.
And tomorrow night, depending upon, I'm going to do it. I don't know what time. Usually I say 10:30, but it's going to depend what time I get back from Wake Up Dead Man. But I'm doing my live stream tomorrow, and we have a giveaway.
Okay.
Just today I got the
90210?
email. No, but it is more teen angst. So if you want some delicious teen angst, come on over. Only got one to give away, but Paramount has given me a digital code for the brand new movie that is playing in theaters now, Regretting You.
Okay.
So we will have a giveaway of Regretting You, starring Ghostbusters. What's her name? I'm blanking on her name. Phoebe Spengler from Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you going to be spinning the wheel tomorrow? Is that what you're going to do?
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. All right. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Let me take the comments down so that way it doesn't cover up names. McKenna Grace.
Thank you.
All right. Anyway, thanks, everybody. Go check out Jake, Joe, and Ronan's channel, and we will see everyone next time. Bye. Hey there, if you're seeing this, that means we have reached the end of the stream. Thanks so much for your continued support with comments, likes, subscriptions, super stickers, and super chats. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the channel members who have contributed to the success of this channel with paid tiers. On the screen, you will see your name displayed as a signal of appreciation from myself and the channel. If you would like to see your name on this list, consider selecting a tier with the join or plus button depending on your platform. Thanks again, everyone. Let's hang out soon in the next stream, and I'll see you then.